What's going on, Pop Samurai fans? Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Pop Contention. I'm your host, Johnny Hoon, along with hosts
Joel Pepperaki,
Will Washgoon,
and Dominic Serena.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here. If you're new to all things Pop Samurai, you can find all things Pop Samurai at popsamurainetwork.com to find out information about our shows and things like that. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, Facebook at Pop Samurai, and Twitter at Pop Samurai Cast, we'd love you guys to join us and follow us and be a friend, be a fan, be family with us, if you will. You guys can also, if you guys have any questions, comments, or topics, if you're joining us live in the Twitch feed here, you can comment in the Twitch feed, and we'll try and interact back with you guys if we can. Or if you guys get a chance to, you guys can head over to or you can email us at popsamurainetwork@gmail.com, and we'll try and check out your messages. You can send us any questions, topic ideas, if you will. We much appreciate about that. And yeah, this is cool. If you guys don't know what Pop Contention is, it's our ranking show list thing, pop culture, where we take pop culture topics, we create secret top 5 lists, and we discuss them, and then we try to create and rank a official top 5 list for this episode. This week we're doing top 5 special / signature moves in pop culture.
Show me your moves.
I wanted to have a crazy super brawl about this, and I opened it up to all avenues: movies, anime, games.
Oh, there's gonna be some anime. You bet your ass.
There's gonna be a lot of weird stuff. There's probably gonna be a hefty amount of anime in this. We all went and created our own secret top 5s. No one knows about it yet. And then we will, how it works is we're going to start at our number 5s, go all the way up to number 1s, talk about honorable mentions. And yeah, that's how it works. And then we'll move into the official ranking phase. When we get there, I'll explain more of the rules then. Mm-hmm. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful. You?
I'm doing okay. Just okay.
I will show you how I'm doing with my
secret
secret special ultra technique.
Oh, shoot. He held down both the L and the R trigger.
Plus a quarter turn forward, obviously. No, I don't want to go first.
Joel, you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go first.
Dominic wants to go first. Go
Dom
first.
will go first.
All right, so we're going to get right into this. And we were talking about anime here. We're going to go into the realm of Pokemon, actually. But
okay.
We're going to go in a different direction. This signature move is actually shared by 3 individuals simultaneously, and it's to the point of predestination where this move is pulled off. To the point where I actually was choosing whether or not to take their conscious move that they always do, or the subconscious move that they all do regardless if they want to or not.
And the move is?
And the move chosen is Team Rocket with Blasting Off Again.
Oh my god. What the
That seems more like a catchphrase, but okay.
You can say that, but I'm pretty sure they say it as they are launched skyward.
Also,
so they are knowingly
it's a catchphrase
saying the name of the move that is happening right now.
I think that totally flies because it's like,
I mean, that pun just flies.
No, it's not just that. It's a signature move of theirs. Like they do something while saying it. So.
Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're the only ones that do it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. All right. Cool.
To an extent.
Cool.
Okay.
You're up, champ.
All right. Let's see here. So for number 5 for Jaboy here, we're gonna go into the realm of anime, and it is from My Hero Academia. I'm going to put the All Might Smash for my number 5 spot here. I will specifically call out the United States of Smash.
Oh God.
For those of you who haven't watched it, I don't know what else to say about that right now, but he has so many different versions of it, but the variation that I love the most is the United States of Smash.
All right.
That's the one against One for All, right?
Correct.
I'm like holding back a smile here because it's pop culture, and it goes a little something like this. It's the fucking Mentos hand.
I just
What the
don't
fuck?
I don't even know where these lists are going. I don't
culture,
even
ladies
know.
and gentlemen.
I don't
It's
even
It's
Mentos
genius.
hand.
It's utter genius.
It's the Mentos hand. That is a move That is something that sold a product to all of us. We all know it. That theme song starts and you go like this anytime something good happens. The only reason anything happened.
I don't even know where the fuck this list is going.
Okay,
things only turn out
strong
well
start
because of Mentos.
Get that fucking shit out of here!
Get the fuck out of here!
Are you
have a Mentos
serious?
on here?
Goddamn visual aids.
I thought about going that route.
Not like
I thought about
seeable
it.
aids. Like, just, you get it.
Let's see you guys fight off one of the most memorable commercials.
Oh well, shit.
Well, if I don't succeed, I'll just blast off again.
Yeah.
Will,
Yes.
What do you got here?
So as always, I'm the only one that's done this properly. I am going with a fighting game, which is kind of the whole point. I am going to go with my favorite fatality of all time.
Ooh, which one?
And that is Armageddon by Smoke from Mortal Kombat 3. He drops a bunch of his smoke bombs and the entire world explodes. Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Wasn't it the little metal drop bomb? Like,
Yeah, exactly. You could like drop them throughout the fight, or you could just wait and make them your fatality.
Yeah, I love that. That's right.
Wow.
And I only like that one's a bit of a personal pick. There might be better fatalities out there, but that was the first fatality I ever learned how to do by memory. And so
cool. Very cool.
Special
Dominic,
place in the heart.
It's back to you on your reserved list.
Yes, we're going to stay in the realm of anime quite a bit with this list.
Okay.
We're going to go into another anime, one that requires hand gestures first, though. Now, Will may have called it out, but we're going to go with the Kakibushin no Jutsu, a.k.a. Shadow Clone Jutsu with Naruto Uzumaki.
Yes.
Interesting.
Several different variations of the technique all start with the Kakibushin no Jutsu, and I think the utilization of it, even to the point of making an all-male harem appear with combining different techniques.
The sexy jutsu.
So, the sexy jutsu, which is a version of the Shadow Clone Jutsu.
It is.
I'm only writing down K no J. There's no way I'm writing that down.
Kakibushin no Jutsu.
Sounds like we're putting together a list of the best Men in Black characters.
Yeah,
Yes. I love it. All right, so my number 4 is a personal pick of mine. It comes from one of my favorite animes. It is from Yu Yu Hakusho, and it is the Spirit Gun. It is Yusuke's key move in the entire series, and it's one of the very first animes that I just completely rewatched over and over again. So it's one of my earliest.
One of the tougher questions for me, by the way.
Debate's not done yet, or debate hasn't started yet.
Okay.
One of the tougher questions for me, but no.
Okay.
Just leave it at that.
All right.
My number 4. Let me just check. Oh, I know what it is. Are you guys good neighbors? And when you get home, what do you do?
I know where this is going.
What do you do when you walk in a house?
I take off my shoes first, and then I put on my sweater vest.
I get butt naked.
Your
is what I do
signature
when I get home.
move
I explode out of my clothes.
Okay, is this just because I got Mr. Rogers on the list last week?
No.
I'm feeling imitated right now.
No, because think
Are
about
you
this.
saying you won't be his neighbor? Won't you?
I don't
Won't
like
you?
This guy. I don't like this guy.
Your list is the outside of outside list, Joel. And,
oh my god, I can't wait to go through my runners off.
Completely misunderstood
Just every
premise.
actual
and
iconic move.
And you're smiling about it. You've completely misunderstood
I don't think you understand how much
I
I'm rooting for his now.
I didn't ask for clarity because it said signature moves or special moves. Moves.
I'd say that's very special.
In pop culture.
And again, it was my fault for leaving it open. So yes, I mean, like, it technically counts. I can't fault
You
him
didn't say
for it.
fighting games?
Yeah, no, I didn't, and that's the whole point.
He's always wanted to have a neighbor.
I wanted something.
Just
I wanted
like
special
you.
list.
If none of these
and
make
this
it,
is good.
at least they're awesome and you know they're moves.
All right. Well,
I don't know that.
Will.
Yes.
4.
There's a literal motion part of it.
Kagebushin no Jutsu!
Hey!
Shadow clone technique from our Naruto is my number 4.
Wow.
Yes.
Excellent.
I didn't know we had like Naruto fans.
Yeah,
around
we
here.
do.
That's pretty
Everybody, there are only Naruto fans and people who have yet to become Naruto fans.
Minus the filler.
There's a lot of
Well,
filler.
there is a
That's
lot of
why-
filler.
That's why I fell
It's
off
more
of it.
filler than actual show, to be honest. But when you catch the actual
filler's
show
not
within the
bad.
filler, it's great.
The filler's not too bad in that show.
It's equivalent to Dragon Ball.
It could be as bad as One Piece. I think we can all agree.
No, it cannot be.
We're also going to go into the realm of Yu Yu Hakusho, but I got to give it up for my boy Kuwabara with his spirit sword.
You're a Messi. I love you.
Nice. Very good.
You're up.
Okay, so for your boy here, his number 3 here. Number 3 is an iconic movie move. It is from the Karate Kid. It is the crane kick.
Oh my goodness!
Even though he was technically cheating when he did it, because there was supposed to be no face shots. I'm gonna call it out that he still won with that move.
And everybody cheered.
And everyone cheered. Even though it was a dirty, dirty cheating.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Moving on.
All right. Yeah, let's keep moving fast. I think we gotta.
I think we're debating more. And
well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys caught on to what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
If you go fast, how do you do it? Well, you do the Sonic Spin Dash. Boom, number 3.
Okay.
No, it is true. If you go into the realm of the Sonic, he actually has a speed technique called the infinite spin, where his feet cease to become feet and form the infinity symbol. Yeah.
I know, that's true.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
All right.
That's a video game move.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's something special. All right.
Hold down and B.
I'm
down and
gonna
B.
go
shut up.
off the beaten path just by pulling out a topic that we don't talk about a lot. Pro wrestling
Nice.
Yes.
Oh no.
is
All right,
a good
I was-
signature move
I
realm.
was waiting to see if someone
I
was
know.
gonna.
And my favorite signature move of all time, even though it has no basis in reality and looks completely ridiculous, is The Rock's People's Elbow.
Nice.
All right.
I was always more of a Randy Orton.
I was wondering if you'd say the eyebrow.
Oh, no.
Oh my
His
god.
signature move.
No,
my
his
gosh,
signature
yeah.
move is a move that he performs on his opponent.
I mean, there's motion in both, right?
Yes.
I like the RKO personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you
That
do.
is a
It
very
makes
good one.
it also provides your opponent ceases to be your opponent and helps you do it every time.
Yes, love it.
It's wonderful.
Love it. All right.
that two?
Dom.
All right, guys. We're gonna go Western here.
Nice.
We're gonna go with cinematic. We're gonna go with childhood franchise. We're gonna go into the realm of Harry Potter.
Oh,
The
that's not
the
Western.
uh,
Different kind of Western.
well, just Western civilization, I guess.
Yes.
But we're gonna go with probably the most powerful and overused ability ever concocted in the wizarding world, and that is Stupefy. Harry Potter and Stupefy. And it's a number 2, so you better watch it.
I haven't watched or read the series enough to know
Oh
if
my
he used it a
God.
lot.
I
But
don't
I
know
could have
either.
swore that, like, I don't know, something else was more
Name it.
iconic. I don't know. Wingardium Leviosa.
That would be maybe Hermione Granger.
Expecto Patronum.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's the one I thought. That's the one I was thinking of. But
Oh,
again,
you're dead wrong, and I'm
I-
going to tell you why.
it's fine. I am not a Harry Potter fan, so I have no idea like if that's the one that they use a lot.
Ridiculous.
Abracadabra.
Stupefy.
You don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm saying your pick is ridiculous.
Redonkulous. All right, number 2.
That's not
I'm going into.
Is that a rapper? I don't
know. It's a word I made up right now. It's contentious. All right,
All words
so
are made up.
Number 2 for your boy over
Shut
here
up.
is going into one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and it is Final Fantasy VII Cloud's Omni Slash.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
I got a different one on my runners up. But
Get that limit breaker.
That limit breaker.
All right, I've had a really tough time trying to narrow down this number 2 here, and I'm going to roll with what I know because I can probably defend it a little bit. I don't know, I can defend both pretty well. All right. My number 2 is the little mouth from Aliens.
The little.
You're going to have to sell the shit out of that.
Done with you.
It was between that and Godzilla's atomic breath.
I would. I could have. Like.
I bought all of your snake oil, and then you revealed the ingredients list.
I would have bought Godzilla's atomic breath more than this, but okay.
Yeah,
All right, how many people died at the helm of the Little
gracious.
Mouse? We'll talk about it later. Coming up soon.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm dying at everyone's lists here. All right, Will, give me a good one.
Yeah. So there's a gun. There's a sword. I'm gonna go with Dragon Ball Z and Goku's Spirit Bomb as my number 2.
Love it.
Gotcha. I think we're on to honorable mentions then.
That's correct. Honorable mentions, please list them off.
All right, we're going to go with Master Roshi's Kamehameha Wave.
Nice.
Krillin's Destructo Disc. I always mispronounce the...
Which he should use a lot more.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree
what the fuck?
he's the worst person to have developed it himself. Vegeta's Gallic Gun. Genkai Spirit Gun from Yu Yu Hakusho. Captain Falcon's Falcon Punch. We had the 5-finger Death Punch from...
This is huge.
Quiet you. We have Full Cowl from Midoriya from My Hero Academia. Chidori, Sasuke's move, which I have under Kakashi, is the one who made it. Rasengan with the Pervy Sage. Serious Punch from Saitama, One Punch Man. Pikachu's Thunder Shock. Samus's Charge Shot. Johnny Bravo's Doing the Monkey. Come on. Dee Dee's Button Pushing. Darth Vader's Force Choke. Megumin's Explosion Spell. Rock Lee's Any Form of Genjutsu. Azula's Lightning Bending from Avatar Last Airbender. Hulk Smash, and I have Sub-Zero's Freeze.
Okay.
Nice.
Bravo. Honorable mentions for your boy over here, quick and easy. The Kamehameha Wave, the Hadouken, that move there, Falcon Punch, and the Iron Man Repulsor Blasts.
Nice.
That's what I'm going with.
All right, speedy time. Godzilla Atomic Breath, Falcon Punch, Shoryuken, Limit Break.
I'm so surprised you don't have Falcon Punch on your list, but okay.
Scorpion, get over here.
Yeah, that's really good.
Donkey Kong Ground Pound, Link Blade Spin, Hadouken, Kamehameha. First, how do I say this? It's like the first fist, or first 100 fist crack, or what is it? 100 first crack fist from Fist of the North Star, where he goes. Pop, 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 pop.
I forget.
Pikachu with Thunder Shock. Kenshin's, I don't even know how to say his move. It's way too long. I'm not going to try. Tessai's
Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tessai's Blade Throw, the 2-edged blade from freaking Ninja Scroll, which was awesome. That is.
And you were,
I know, that
you were going
barely
like
made
70s, 80s
that
anime here.
barely went. That's from '93.
Oh, okay.
War of the Worlds Heat Ray, Thanos' Snap, Independence Day Blast, T-Rex Bite, Raptor's Claws, Knife Head, Pacific Rim, Pyramid Head Skin Snatch, Jaws' Bite, Marvin the Martian, Illudium Q-36 Explosive Space Modulator.
Okay, let's be honest. That's much better than Raptor Claw.
I know.
Can we agree?
Well, I had to say it. General Grievous 4 Sabers. Grand Moff Tarkin disordering to destroy planets. Tarzan's Chest Pound. Bugs Bunny, What's Up, Doc? Trump, you're fired.
Those aren't signature
Those
moves.
are catchphrases.
Those are catchphrases.
That's
Hold on.
catchphrases now.
Peter Frampton's Wawa.
It's a talk box.
Squatting Slavs. Techno Vikings.
Squatting slabs. I'm turning his mic off.
Techno-
I'm turning his mic off. That is
turning this
enough
into a
of
meme.
that. That
Homer-
is enough of this.
Homer's Strangles. Bart,
Stop
I
it.
didn't do it. Inspector Gadget, I'll get you, Gadget.
The Homer one's arguable.
When Our Powers Combine. Thundercats Ho, Indiana Jones Whip, Napoleon Hand in the Pocket, and we're talking
You're just
about
naming items now.
Yeah, you really are.
ZZ Top Guitar Spin.
How much of this list
Napoleon's
is there?
hand in the pocket.
That's a signature move. You
That
just
was
did
one
it.
painting.
You just did it
That
without
was
even
one
thinking about
painting.
it.
That's a painting.
You just
don't
did it without
know where
thinking
this
about
is.
it.
Pose. It's
The
not
cur-
a move.
I am stupefied.
Van Damme Split and the Helicopter Kick and the Curly Shuffle.
You just looked at pictures and
you
described them.
After you said Jaws bite,
Yeah.
I fucking just like, where the fuck?
That's
Thank
every
you.
shark, by the way.
Yes.
Every fucking shark.
Signature move.
But that's Jaws' signature move.
No, it's
And that's a pop
Fucking
culture
not.
It's how a
icon.
shark hunts.
Holy shit.
We have the porcupine's quills, the tiger's stripes. It's
Guys, my signature move is pizza eat. That's what's my signature move. Because no one fucking
only
does it,
Jelani
right?
does it.
All
If
right.
you did it in a
I don't know
movie,
how
give
I
it to you.
consume
Hey,
pizza.
Michelangelo
It's just
does
a
it in
natural-
Ninja Turtles, all right?
Will,
Yes.
give me a fucking honorable mentions list.
Okay, so I went with the Shoryuken, but I meant to go with the Hadoken, and I apologize for that. The Crane Kick, the Burning Finger from G Gundam.
Hey.
I went with Regular Punch from Saitama because I just think it's really fucking funny.
Regular punch.
Regular Punch. And then, if we're not doing signature moves and we're just doing shit anybody can fucking do, then I'm gonna say the Knights of the Round Summon from Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good
But again, it's not a signature because anybody can fucking do it.
Summon that and
It
go make a
doesn't matter.
sandwich.
It's if that character's move is signature to them. That's what a signature move is.
Okay. All right. So
Van Damme can do the split. So can 1,000 people, but he's known for that.
we have arrived.
He's also known for screaming like he's got a shit.
Yeah, that's a signature move.
We've
That is
arrived-
not.
We have arrived at the number
God
one,
damn it.
folks. We've arrived at the number one. Dominic, grace me with your number one.
I had a conversation with Jelani before this began, and he actually convinced me to change, and I changed up my number one at the last second.
Good, I'm
because of
glad.
it. The argument being that I thought that it would have to be the person that created it or the one that utilized it the best to make it their own if it wasn't really used that often. And then I thought to myself, no, this is the signature move of the individual, whether they stole it or not. And as we know, Goku has yet to actually have his own freaking ability. Every single move that he has ever done has been stolen.
He's been given everything.
And therefore, I'm going to have to go with the Kamehameha Wave Goku.
Cool. Love it.
That's it. That's
Oh,
all,
okay.
That's all it is.
Good. All right. Number one is an actual move from a fighting game, and it's one of my favorite fighting games. And they just announced their gameplay and their trailers and stuff like that. It is the Scorpion Spear. It is the iconic "Get over here!"
Get over here.
So I'm gonna go with that as my number one.
I'm really glad you got to see that trailer when they released like some footage a while ago. Actually, that trailer's been out for a little while. But I
Yeah.
don't know if they showed gameplay. Yeah.
But this
I
is
just
a better.
thought of another
This
good
is a
one.
bearing. This is a better show.
This is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens.
All right, my number one. I know I'm gonna get grief for this.
I am
But,
on.
Just-
all right,
Pins and needles.
TVtropes.com. I had to go to it because I was wondering what you would call this. Well, guess what? He defined the term, and it is his signature thing. They call it this throughout film now. It is Indiana Jones hat roll. It's where he grabs
where he
his
has to
hat
get his hat.
every single time it falls off of him, and he has to go get it.
At least he's fucking moving in that. God
There's
damn
not-
it, Joel.
There's not many iconic things in the film world of modern times as that, I would say.
Okay.
So we'll deal with that later.
All right.
I thought it was just because it was
That
a
is-
running joke
that is not
he looked
as
worse
contentious
without the
as
hat.
other stuff that we've heard already. Will, what is
Yes.
your number one?
He's talking about me.
So it is again from Final Fantasy VII, but
Yes.
like I said, I
Yes.
wanted to go with something signature, which means you got to go Limit Break, and the most iconic one has got to be Cloud's Omni Slash.
Yes.
It's nice to know that we are all unbiased on this, and we're evaluating everything.
It's fine. I'm gonna vote for everything Joel because he gave me a book earlier.
I fucking knew it.
No, I'm
Here
joking.
comes Mentos' hand.
Number one. No. Okay.
If someone like was going around punching people with a tube of Mentos in their hand, I would consider
There
it.
has to be a parody somewhere.
Do do do
Oh, I
do
got
do 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 I?
All right, folks.
Especially
can
if it's
start
like
it.
coming through a wall or
You guys
something.
don't vote for it.
Oh, well, that would be the
Nah.
Kool-Aid Man then,
Yeah, well, maybe
Oh,
he's
that's a
got to start it.
signature move.
right? That wasn't on there. How dare you?
Folks, thank you so much for joining us here. We love all of you guys. If this is your first Pop Contention,
Wow.
welcome to the
We're
fucking
sorry.
show.
It's
But,
your last Pop Contention, if this is your first.
So all of us, we've gone through and released and showed everybody. We've revealed our top 5 lists, and now what we will do is we will create the official top list for this episode. There are 5 empty spaces, ranking from the bottom number 5 to the top number 1. What we'll do is we'll go round by round, and you will nominate a pick from your list. Okay, and if you will nominate it for a spot, and if you're going up against somebody, you will debate against them. If you're not, then you will debate for why it deserves to be on the list. And Once the debate phase has expired, which is a 6-minute, 6-minute round of debate for all the picks. Once that has expired, there's a voting round, and all of us will create a vote on the pick for the spot. You need to garner a majority vote to keep your pick on the list. If it does not make it on the list, it is stricken from the list forever. Even if there's a duplicate on the list, which I don't think we'd have this week, right?
You do. You have.
I have a duplicate with you.
Yes, that's right.
You
Okay.
have the slash.
All right, and
Looking good for you all.
So, Dominic, you started out the reveal round, so you're gonna have first nomination for round 1. What is your nomination for round 1?
Harry Potter Stupefy for number 3.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna go with the Karate Kid Crane Kick at number 3.
Okay.
For mine, I will do Sonic Spin Dash for number 4.
I am going to do the People's Elbow for number 5.
All right. 6 minutes is going on the clock. We're going to start at the bottom of the list, which is the People's Elbow. Will, you're going to debate and defend it and why it deserves to be on the spot. And we'll let you know how everything's... Let me get the change. Okay. And go.
Okay, so pro wrestling, if you don't know, is this thing where big guys in spandex run around and throw each other around and talk shit about each other, and then there's some sort of element of sports in it where there's a winner and a loser. What I know is that every fucking time this move got unleashed on someone, there was a winner, and his name was The Rock. The Rock would get the fans involved by tearing off very slowly one of his armbands, throwing it to the crowd. They'd go fucking nuts. He'd run and bounce off one side. He'd bounce off the other ropes. He'd come in, he'd fucking swagger in and just drop the fucking elbow of justice on his opponents. It is the least practical goddamn move in existence. But it was his signature. It was his finisher. It used all the ring. It propelled him to movie stardom. It propelled him to become fucking people's sexiest man of whatever fucking year.
And the Scorpion King.
And the Scorpion King. He became the king of scorpions, all because of the People's Elbow. This move was dope. It made him the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment, and it deserves a spot on this list.
Fantastic. All right, moving up the list, we're at number 4 with Joel's pick.
Sonic Spin Dash. All right. Well, I don't know about you guys, but going back to being a kid, and I know you're a Sega boy, so you probably had some Sonic in your life.
Do tell.
Well, you could run pretty quick if you're just darting back and forth. But anytime you'd get stuck before you had to go down through a loop, you're like, how am I going to do this? Well, you press down and B, and you just charge that motherfucker up real good, and then you go around the loop.
You could rev it.
You could rev it, and then you could go through walls. And I can't think. Compare this with Mario's jump on a head. It's like, no, this was very iconic. This was Sega's, and they created a character that still exists very much so and alive today. And they all know he goes fast. And one of his things was that he turned into a little ball, and he could kill anything that was in his way. And in every single game that they've created for him, he has had that as some form of a move. He was in Smash, too, and I think he had one for that, too,
charge,
right?
yes.
Yeah, the charge, exactly. So it's like, no matter what you do, that's an iconic thing that Sonic does, and I think it also just was resembled a portion of early gaming up till modern day that all of us love and hold dear still, and it's just like, wow, I can't think of a move from, say, going back to the 16-bit era that sticks with you as much as that one.
Nice. So. Love it. No. Going up to number 3. You want to go first? You want me to go first? You nominated first. I mean, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
What's the ruling, actually? I think
It doesn't matter.
Louder
I'll let
than
you,
I
I'll let
thought it
you
was
choose
gonna
if you
be.
want to go first.
all right.
We're debating each other.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Let's do this.
Especially because
Let's do
they're
that.
just wasting time, so I might as well provide some entertainment.
Please, by all means.
So the thing with signature moves is repetition, repetition, repetition. You see the characters do it over and over again. It becomes synonymous with them. Unlike the crane kick, which I believe was only performed once against an opponent, if I'm not mistaken.
In that first movie.
Yes, yeah. We're going to go with something that all the choices in the world are presented to this young child, and they choose Stupefy. Now, let's be clear. We want to talk about the moves themselves. Stupefy is the most unreliable move ever in the Harry Potter universe because no one actually knows what it does. I will say what it has done. It has done anything from knock someone to be blackout to knocking them off of their feet to knocking them or an object out of their hand to, if you miss with it, it is anything from taking down a building to knocking over a bookcase. It can be performed by anybody, even at a rudimentary level. We're talking Defense Against the Dark Arts 101, page 1. Harry knew what was up. It's like, I just learned about this instant kill spell. Nah. We don't need to do that. What about the one where the person becomes your mind slave? No. Stupefy. We're going to do this over and over again. It is literally all it requires is a wand, you saying the word, and then your opponent, if you get a hit with it as an opponent, it's just like, all right, we're going to see what happens this time. And I think the utility of said move is unprecedented in the wizarding world.
So it's not like it's not like and I'll be quick, but it's not like confusion in a video game like an RPG where they can do random crap. It's just a strike.
It's a forceful strike. And it can do anything from knocking you into next week to
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Bravo.
But the impact level is incredible. Incredibly, it's like you're spinning a roulette every single time you hit someone with it. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch what's going to happen because you don't know.
All right, I got like under a minute now.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the crane kick. This is a move that has permeated popular in pop culture is the zeitgeist, right? You see a move that was used once by a shitty kid to win a match that he shouldn't have won because there was no face strikes, but he used it, still won. Everyone cheered for this shitty ass kid. But this move here has become iconic as it's been used by many other people and emulated by many other people, and even to comedic effect as well. Like, I've never seen a fight happen and someone goes like, whoa, like this, and like tries to do that as like a funny move. I've never seen someone go like, oh, Stupefy, like I've never seen that happen, right? And up until now, I don't even know what the fuck the move does, but I know what the crane kick does. He brings it up. It's an iconic. Visual, all right, and it's an iconic move, and I didn't have enough time, so I tried.
It helps if you've actually seen Harry Potter, though.
Well, and all right, hold on. I want to further his point really quick and just say that he was injured, so his leg was hurt, so he had to use his balance on one other strong leg and could only do one attack out of that. So he went back to his training, which is like the essence of a martial arts movie, and used the one attack, which was super powerful and landed it perfect. So it's like it was like the underdog tale and then perfection and trained by the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I ran out of time. But okay. All right. So going from the bottom of the list, number 5 for the People's Elbow. Will, yeah or nay for keeping it on the list?
I am smelling what the Rock's cooking. I'm going to go yay.
Dominic.
After seeing where the Rock has come, it's a hell of a move.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's a hell of a move. I'm going to have to go with a yes.
I will also go with a yes.
Oh, yeah, the cream's rising to the top there. I'm giving that one a yes.
Love it.
I'd like Samoa.
Yes.
All right. The number 4
Well done.
Number 4 spot, we have the. I'm sorry. What's the
Sonic Spin Dash.
Sonic Spin Dash.
I'm giving it a yes.
Joel, yeah or nay? Will, yeah or nay?
It's the most move-like move on Joel's list. I'm going to give it a yay.
Don't be so certain.
Dominic, yeah or nay?
Sonic Spin Dash. I'm going to go no.
I will go yay because it's probably the more iconic thing that Sonic does.
Well, in like side-scrolling fighting or like just like adventure games, I can't think of any other moves.
It has an iconic sound effect as well.
Yeah,
like it's the
it
one
is.
And it goes. I know that move, especially being a Sega kid. So.
But it looks like it made it to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All All right, and
that book,
here's the
Yeah.
contentious part. We are both vying for number 3. It is the Stupefy spell versus the Crane Kick. Dominic, what are you voting for?
I think the newest generation of individuals will have to agree with me that it is Harry Potter Stupefy.
I'm gonna kick it with the kick. So I'm staying with the kick. Joel.
Oh, you're getting Crane Kick out of me.
It's a Crane Kick from me as well.
Booyah! Love it.
Wow, that's 3 spots already.
3 spots gone.
Wow, that's
We just killed our life.
for those of you
Where
who are
was
new.
Mentos hanging
For those of you
go?
who are new and just joining us, that rarely happens. That we fill up a lot of spots.
It means
right
that we're
away.
going to have 2 empty rounds right now.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of empty
Yeah, I
rounds.
already know what I'm choosing next.
Oh right.
You know what needs to happen.
I don't know what needs to happen.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
yeah.
All right, it's your boy's pick for round
Yeah, it
number
is.
2, and my nomination here. There's what spots?
1 and 2.
Yeah,
1 and 2. Ooh. I forgot what his
No one wants to go number 1 right away. I think we've figured out that that's a death
From
sentence.
handwriting, but
Unless it's
you're
on 3
up here.
lists.
Oh, okay. I'll go Spirit Gun at number 2.
All right. I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones hat roll at number 2.
Cool. Will, what you
What
doing?
am I going to throw out at number 2?
Or try and steal that number 1?
Sorry,
you guys-
what are you? You're doing Spirit Gun?
Mhm.
I'll do the Spirit Bomb at number 2.
Oh,
All right,
spirits.
I gotta join in. I gotta do Spirit Sword
All
versus
right.
Spirit Gun. Same show.
Let's do this. All right, I love it so much.
Should have went for 1.
No, I gotta.
No,
Let's see if you can touch my soul with this, Dominic, because
If anyone's gonna
This
touch your
seri-
soul, though,
this
it's gonna be
seri-
Kuwabara.
this series has is a soft spot for me. So here we go. 6 minutes on the clock. We all voting for vying for number 2. And who wants to go first before I start this timer?
I
The
want.
non-Spirit
Oh, okay.
guy should go
All
first.
right.
Ready and go.
All right. I don't know about you guys, but when you think of adventure, it's Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'll let you do the song. Yeah, there you go. Sold. All right. Anyway,
Wasting all his
no,
time.
Basically, I think that with you could go with his whip, but he very rarely actually used his whip throughout the movie. But one thing is iconic, and it was what was on top of his head, and it was always with him. And it's one thing that that became synonymous with him. And even when the hat blew down the aisle in the newest movie and it was going off of him, he grabbed it back from the kid. And it's funny because it's just a part of who he is, and it's become part of what we think of Indiana Jones, the adventurer. And there's certain things throughout different films, and that's what I was getting at with TVtropes.com, is that before him these things existed, but until then they didn't come up with a name for it because they exploited it over and over and over with him. Thus, him being the defining role for the grabbing the thing that's important to you, even if it's not.
I'm sorry. This is. You're explaining a man that picks up a hat.
I am.
It's pretty funny.
I am, but I'm talking about one of the most iconic parts of that film. You can think of every single movie
I'm not knocking
he's
that it's
in.
not signature. It's just it is the most extraneous explanation of man
I'm-
picks up hat that I've ever heard.
Yes, it's pretty
I
good.
think
It's
I'll
pretty
leave
good.
it at that then.
If we look at film history and we look at the
well, I'm
Spirit
just
Gun,
saying.
Spirit Bomb, and Spirit Sword.
guys go ahead.
This is
Spirit
interesting.
Yeah, so
No, I do
I'm going to
love
go
the
with the
pick.
bomb
This is like rock paper
right
scissors
away.
right now.
So
boom,
Um,
boom.
I've got to come out swinging right away and just compare it to your guys because they're both great picks. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. All of these are great picks. The Spirit Bomb, what sells it for me is the fact that it's not just you. It's not just your energy that you're putting into this. You have to summon strength from your surroundings, from the planet as a whole. You are becoming one with your environment in order to create this unbelievably powerful attack that loses relevance a little bit later in this series, but don't worry about that. That's just because it's slow. But it is earlier on in the show, for all intents and purposes, a fucking kill shot. If you use the Spirit Bomb, that motherfucker's going down. You can't say that about the Spirit Gun or the Spirit Sword with certainty. And so that's why I think the Spirit Bomb needs to be on this list over those two.
Got it. Well, the Spirit Sword and the Spirit Gun, both from the same series, one from Kuwabara, one from Yusuke Urameshi. Spirit Gun, man, like that right there started out with this punk kid who becomes a spirit detective, and he learns this move that starts off as just a puny little shot that he uses like
once a day.
The first time he uses it, he hits his principal in the back of the head with it, like who's a shitty principal. But moving on from that, he starts to cultivate it. He starts to change it up. He changes it. He starts adding different variations on it. The shotgun, adding more shots to it, and eventually it becomes his kill shot throughout the series. And it dips into his spirit energy. It is an iconic move in the series for Yusuke, and it's I understand like the love for Kuwabara's spirit sword and everything like that, but the main character of the series is Yusuke Urameshi, and his spirit gun is the one that everyone knows, and everyone knows the catchphrase. He calls out the name of it every time he uses it, and it's an iconic. It's basically the Kamehameha wave of this series, and it is that iconic, and it's one that I love very much. But yeah, why is the spirit sword better?
I could have gone with the Spirit Gun, and it's on my list of honorable mention, but there's a reason it never made it to my list, and that is the fact that it is essentially the sidearm to any spirit detective. Every spirit detective that ever was given that by Genkai as something to utilize. So all he's doing is just upgrading an arsenal that was handed to him. At least with Goku, he had to learn the technique as opposed to it getting passed down to him, but it still only works on those of evil of heart. What we have here with the Spirit Sword is just a middle school kid caught up in the demon realm, aside from the fact that he has no actual spirit powers aside from what he pulls out of his ass when he joins the tournament. So what do we have here? We have a story of an individual that was able to make their own signature technique, not taught to him, but him creating it himself, and out of selflessness to help his friend. Yusuke's principal was not a crappy principal. The superintendent was. The principal showed up at his funeral and cried that he couldn't make it, and make sure that he could bring the better out of Yusuke. Same thing with Kuwabara. Kuwabara is the soul of that show. If anything, Yusuke is still the dick that he always was with the heart of gold, but Kuwabara was always his main man, and this is his move that he made specifically to help his friend. I think that deserves recognition as quite an iconic move.
It's an iconic move for sure. Up until they reveal that actually it was it. I mean, they know what that move is, and it's something that someone has used a long time ago, and it's in a infant stage all the way up until about the third arc of the series, where he cultivates it into the dimensional cutter, whatever it is, whatever it actually evolves into, and they state that like they were
similar to the shotgun.
Yeah, and they like. Going into like seeing his evolution with the sword, like from having to use a little handle to use at first, but then eventually cultivating it. But like I would have to disagree with Yusuke having to just be handed it. He had to cultivate it as well, and he made it stronger with his own will as well too. But all right, that's the time, and we go to the voting round. So we started with your
we started with
debate.
Spirit Gun. Well, I guess we'll start
actually,
with mine now,
I forgot. Everyone's for the same pick. So you're gonna call out what you're voting for, and we'll go. I'll start on this side. Who do you want to start with? You start.
Whoever. I think it starts with you because we're all the same.
Yeah, I nominate
same
first.
section.
I'm sorry. I will stick with.
It's a conundrum, right?
It's a conundrum because I do love the Spirit Sword, but I'm gonna stick with the Spirit Gun. I'm going to stick with the Spirit Gun. I'm going to hold my gun to my gun.
I do love me some Indiana Jones, but in light of that and trying to keep something on here, I'm going to go with the Spirit Bomb, as I was well-versed in that show at the time.
Gotcha.
Well, now that I've got Joel's backing, I've got to stick with my Spirit Bomb.
It would destroy the planet if it didn't hit its target, so that must mean the planet's
it doesn't. It doesn't destroy the planet.
Says it on the wiki. You just checked it.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's just as bad as Frieza with that thing.
He's got to hit its target, otherwise he could destroy the planet.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Gotcha. I would side with it, but my number one pick is Kamehameha Wave, so I'm gonna have to stick with Spirit Sword on this one.
They're all gone, ladies and gentlemen.
They're all gone, just like that. I kind of expected that.
I definitely expected that.
I will say this: Kuwabara was part of my favorite arc of that, which was the third arc, where he cultivates it into the actual like the full form sword. And after that,
him pulling it out of his ass though for the spirit tournament, man.
After everything else, like I don't remember anything else after that. Like,
well, I don't think it fully aired in the States.
I watched like the actual last arc, and it's bad. But,
they rushed it.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
But so nothing that made it on the list. We still have the number 2 and number 1 spot open, and Joel, it's your first nomination.
All right,
it's getting cold in here, Joel.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
I think you might. Well, you know what? Let's keep this on here for now. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna change my mind, even though he brought up a good point. And I'm gonna say for number 2, I'm going with the alien little mouth.
Okay. All right. Okay. What do I got left? Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cloud's Omni Slash at number 1.
Okay.
All right. If that's the case, then I got to meet with the Kamehameha Wave for number 1.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys were going to go number 1.
Now, I have the Omni Slash as well on my list, and I forgot what the ruling on this was. Am I able
you
to
can
back
move it
up?
around?
Am I backing to him, or if I want to?
Yeah.
But I will lose it off my list, right? But I can back him on it for my pick, this one, right?
Yeah. Well, regardless, you lose it off your
Then
list.
I'm going to back the number 1 spot for that one.
Okay.
All right, so we got 3 things on.
Right? Okay. Oh, yeah.
No, number 2 spot first. So
Number 2 spot first, and go.
This mouth was kind of another
this dirty mouth.
Tell us about that mouth.
Oh my god!
It's a mouth protruding. I'm gonna go in depth about a mouth protruding.
Go.
Basically, the mouth in Alien. We've talked about this at length on other shows, but basically, there's like a lot of sexual references, and one of the things that was like violation was the face hugger inserting an egg down your throat. But you know, they took that even further and made the mouth then inside of the other mouth another violating thing, to the point where it's actually murderous. And if you watch from any of the movies, in any of the Alien movies, they use that signature move. And they use it lethally all the time too. And not only that, but also to intimidate. There was a few times where it'll pull it out slowly and just scare the hell out of people. But basically, it's something that I guess for a sci-fi horror film, to me, I was like, it doesn't really get much better than that. There's not a move that any other character that I can think of, besides like maybe a predator growl, but that's not a move. It's like that hits me right in the heart, which is what he did with it numerous times. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, debate on number 1 spot.
Gotcha. If I go first, and then the rest of the time will be for both of you to.
Sure, good.
Gotcha.
Whatever's left.
I will acknowledge the Omni Slash first and foremost. There's a reason it's on 2 lists. The big thing with both of our moves, though, is that there's attention and apprehension that happens beforehand. With this, it's building up the limit bar. What this does is it creates this like eagerness for it to take place. With mine, it is saying the words themselves. So in a sense, you're actually telegraphing not only to the opponent but the audience what is about to happen. That's huge. That creates excitement for these moves, these iconic moves. With mine spans over the course. It just happens to be a very lengthy lineage with this move. Ever since its inception with the Turtle Hermit, he even says, now it's going to take a couple of years for you to kind of figure out. And then Goku on his first try destroys a car. From that point, you know that this is going to be very synonymous with Goku from that point on. Even so much as to essentially be the Turtle Hermit's big move of choice for all the Z fighters that trained under him. But Goku takes it to the next level with how powerful it is and his utilization of it. It is extremely iconic. I think as a kid, I definitely tried it because kids are idiots. Just because it felt powerful just to watch on screen. And we had this debate with Superman, and I chose Goku specifically because of the excitement that he would bring when he does the Kamehameha wave.
Superman ripoff.
So,
okay.
Yes, we do know that. I will hand the floor to you though for the Omni Slash.
Will, why does the Omni Slash deserve number 1?
Yes. So as you mentioned, the Kamehameha is sort of the move of choice, which means it's passed around, which means although Goku is definitely the most effective user of the Kamehameha, I think it's still not properly a signature move because so many characters do it.
The same could have been said for Spirit Bomb then.
No, how many characters?
He Genkai taught it to him, and then
King Kai.
King Kai taught it to
Genkai
him.
wasn't Yu Yu Hakusho.
Genkai, yeah, sorry, the Kais, God.
Other characters held the Spirit Bomb, but Goku was the main user of it within the show, at least.
Right, but it's yet another ability that was given. Like I was saying earlier, Goku stole all his moves. He does.
Sure, that's fine. So what I was getting at is limit breaks are completely they're completely unique to each of your characters. The Omni Slash is something that is basically your best friend from the beginning of the game. And you see it so many times, and like when that limit bar hits and you're ready to go and you power up, you jump up in the air and you see him just bring this giant fucking sword down, you know that whatever is happening is gonna be golden from there on. It's iconic. You see it so many times through the game. You have to, basically. And like you were saying, as a kid, you used to try and do the Kamehameha wave. So did I. But I also did the Omni Slash because it's just a fucking cool move.
Yes, whenever I was a kid and I used to play sword fight, I would hold my sword like Cloud and I would try to do Cloud moves, and the Omni Slash was one of them. And the Omni Slash is your best friend once you receive that limit break, but it is also for a different reason as well, that it builds up to the final encounter with Sephiroth, and that is the one move that you're able to perform in the silent fight one-on-one between the two characters. It is like it all built up to this one interaction, a final interaction supposedly with these two characters, and the one thing it gives you is a limit break and the Omni Slash to finish this fucker off, who throughout the story has built up as just this villain of villains, and having this move and have it be synonymous with Cloud, and having them it is the move that they bring back for Cloud all the time, as well, and it's synonymous with him. They brought it back in the animated Advent Children movie. They have it in other iterations when he joins like fighting games and other games as well. But the thing about the Omni Slash is just somehow they knew that move was important, that at the end of the game that they gave you that move to use,
just like Frieza.
I don't even know what that means. All right,
we're gonna let the watchers decide that then.
Debate is over. Yes. All right, so what have we got here? Yes. So for the number 2 spot, we have what is the little mouth? What do we call it?
Alien Little Mouth.
Alien Little Mouth.
Yes.
Yay or nay for keeping it on the list?
I will be the only yay. Yes.
It's a pretty emphatic nay from me, I'm afraid.
I was hoping for Mr. Rogers. I'm sorry.
I was gonna put that at number 1, so just because I don't know if any of these are gonna make it.
What do you got?
It's a nay from me.
Okay, all right. I was waiting. I was like, okay, he's building up to it. It's a very phallic nay for me.
Wow.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. The number 1, Kamehameha versus the Omni Slash. Will, yay or nay? I mean, which one are you voting for?
There'll be 1 and 2. We've decided that.
Which one are you voting for? I'm sorry.
I am going to vote for the Omni Slash.
Dominic.
I am sorry. Kamehameha Wave is a great pick.
It's a very good pick.
I will say that Goku's Kamehameha Wave is far superior as far as cultural.
Are we still debating?
Yeah, but I'm going to go Omni Slash because of the original reason why it wasn't on my list was said by Will, and that is that it is not technically Goku's move. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to vote for the Omni Slash as well. It's near and dear to my heart, and Cloud is one of my characters, one of my boys.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you guys hit it on the head perfectly by saying the Omni Slash, but wouldn't Limit Break be a signature move in Final Fantasy?
Well,
They all have
limit
limit
break-
I know,
breaks.
but that,
So
isn't that
everyone has the limit break, but in the limit when the limit breaks, you have these options of all these special moves synonymous with each of the characters.
Yeah, but isn't limit
And-
break? Like,
It just
a
means
learned
their
skill,
signature.
but
I
a
think
learned
it's
skill.
I
So
think
if
it's
you
a
said-
category of moves.
Is it?
It's a
I don't
category
know.
of
All
moves.
right.
It's like
it's a
limit break
category.
is their special bar, and this is their special,
Yes,
essentially.
Yes, so it's their special move. It's if Goku was in this RPG, his
Yeah, I know,
limit
I'm
breaks would
just trying
be
to think
Spirit
of-
Bomb, Kamehameha Wave, and I don't know what else. Super Saiyan. I don't know.
'Cause it's like,
Destructo Disc, because he holds nothing sacred.
There you go.
So
all right, I guess you're right. It is the
a
signature.
category of
It's a
sig-
specific move underneath a special category.
Yes.
So all right, I like the Kamehameha. I'll give it to Omni Slash.
Yes. Bravo. Yeah. Love it.
it's the technicality that got me. So
I was gonna vote
Being
for it.
technically
Yeah.
correct is the best form of
Yeah.
correct.
Though I will say
As they
this,
say.
that like growing up, like Kamehameha Wave was a very strong like contender for like this that is a very special. move.
And you certainly
did
think
did
of
you actually
him
not know
when
what
you
I meant
think
by
of
the
that.
Frieza comment?
Or
were you just playing it
after
off?
I thought
Okay.
about it, but
Okay.
yes, I understood what you said.
Well, but I was gonna say we all think of Goku when we think Kamehameha.
Yes.
So
Yeah. No one remembers
signature-
freaking Master
yeah.
Roshi.
Yeah.
Oh, the Kamehameha. Master Roshi's awesome. No.
I think a lot of people now.
For the record, Special Beam Cannon is my favorite signature move.
'Cause it
for
kills
That's
Goku.
Piccolo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kill Goku.
Yeah.
When he
Also,
shoots
yeah,
through
like-
Raditz and
I
Goku.
will say probably for a while the Kamehameha Wave was probably synonymous with like Gohan's defeat of Cell for a while.
That's true.
Yes, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
also-
Yes.
But remember, he
Android
was only
13
able to
too.
do that
With-
with Goku's help
Yes.
from beyond the grave.
From beyond the grave.
Because
So-
you know, death means nothing in DBZ anymore.
It means
so.
absolutely nothing.
It's just a time lock.
if
That's
you, Yeah, if you
Gotta wait a
haven't
year.
well, death is actually a way of getting stronger in DBZ.
Yeah,
like,
because you can train
I need
forever.
I need to go train.
I'll be
Yes.
back.
All right, so we have
I am King Kai.
Road.
so we have what do
My
we have?
planet's so small.
We have number 2 is available, you guys.
We have one
Number
spot
two.
left.
It's more of a moon, really.
And Will, you are up for nomination for the number 2 spot. What you got?
Kagebushi no Jutsu! Shadow Clone Technique from
Oh.
Naruto for number 2.
I'm gonna have to second that.
Okay. Man, what do I got here? I don't even know what I.
Oh, you've got a
Riding
good one.
those alliances to victory.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah. we are both clones now.
I'm going.
I mean, you could
Sexy
do
jutsu.
this, but
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not going to garner the votes.
that one might.
I think I will have to put up the Scorpion Spear for number 2.
Get over here.
Here,
And then you just hear a poof sound.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen,
chose a
my
clone.
Number 2 is my number 2 is a pop culture icon, Mr. Rogers putting his sweater on.
That's the real contender we're gonna have to fight with.
That's
Okay.
your ascot.
All right. I think me and Joel will go first, and you guys can end off.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Whoever's dual teaming this, I think.
You guys are double teaming it. Ready?
I can hear you well.
Or
yes.
go
You guys start.
No.
first.
I we'll leave you.
Actually,
time.
hold on,
We'll go
hold on.
first, and we'll let you guys.
Will check on Will's mic quick.
Is it off?
I don't. Yeah, I'm. Not
Okay,
quite
never
getting
mind. I
the
can
line.
hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody
I can
else, shut up and let him talk.
Yeah, that
All right,
never
never mind.
happens.
I know. All right.
All right. So you want to go first, then I'll go, and then you guys
Yeah,
will
sure.
double team the
All right.
move.
We're
Whenever
gonna
you're ready.
need to.
and go.
All right. You know, this was a weird thing. I recently went back and just watched briefly an episode of Mr. Rogers, and it's interesting because we all know this show. I don't know about all of us, but for those who watch this being a child, it's interesting because it brings a tear to your eye because you realize how wholesome this show is. You know, he's like, well, we should clean up our toys. Well, why should we do that? Because we like our toys. Well, why do we like our toys? And why do we want to clean them up? Because we're part of a family and we should clean up our toys for our family. And, you know, that's part of being a family. It's like the most wholesome thing in the world. So, you know, the
Sold.
start, the whole, yeah, but it's like it brings a tear of joy to your eye as an adult because you're like, man, you don't have shows like that nowadays. And one of the more comforting things was when that show came on and the guy walked in the house and he put his damn sweater on and you're like, there's that sweater. I know the sweater and his routine. And it was teaching children routine and good reason to take care of things you like and do sweet, innocent things like that to teach people good stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is an iconic thing that although you might say it's not necessarily a fighting move, it's hard not to say that it is a pop culture iconic signature move of a person.
Move can just be an action you perform.
I think he's actually selling me.
You just
What are you not wholesome?
You looked fucking high as shit right there. You're like, is this real life?
Yeah. Is this just Oh, that was really loud.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
just saying.
but yeah, that okay. So moving from wholesome to this guy shoots a fucking spear into you, and he tells you to get the fuck over here.
Don't
It is-
forget that
everybody
he's
else
just
is
a
moving-
fucking skull in a ninja mask.
Exactly.
Everything else on this is a
He
fighting
is a
move.
demon, actually.
Everything else on this is a fighting move.
He's a
Mine is
revenant,
not.
actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. But he resides in hell and then
yeah,
is summoned to the
He's
tournament.
basically a walking corpse, I guess.
Yeah.
The character of Scorpion is iconic, and it is probably the most iconic character from Mortal Kombat. And his move, which literally doesn't do. I don't think it does any damage. It might does it does a very minimal amount of damage. But all everybody ever knows is that he throws a fucking spear into the dude and tells you to get over here. And like that right there is an iconic setup, an iconic move that character has. Like literally all it was is a grapple move to you, and it became one of the more favorite characters, one of the most like iconic moves out there, and to the point that like it permeates out into pop culture too, where like the catchphrase from the move is constantly put out there, and that character is still put in the forefront of like this is it's Scorpions in this game, you know.
They did it in the movie too.
Yeah, exactly. It is the one thing that you have to have in Mortal Kombat, and it is a Scorpion get over here move. It is most iconic fighting game moves out there. And you know there are others, but they didn't make it on our list. But this one here permeates through pop culture, and even with all of like the controversy of all the ultra violence when that game first came out, like that right there, like the spear, get over here, like that right there was like one of the ones that they used as like, wow, this is a violent game. But at the same time, like it took steps and made that move an iconic and almost infamous move. So
I just want to back you up
Yes.
real quick and just say, I don't think before that move there was any other move that would pull the character towards you. You always had to go to them. So
Yes.
True.
it changed how fighting works in fighting games.
please.
Okay, so much like the Omni Slash, one of the beautiful things about Kagebushin no Jutsu is that you get it right away and it becomes like your security blanket. In Naruto, he's this talentless outcast who has no ability to actually be a ninja in that first episode, and he finds this scroll with this amazing technique, and somehow he unlocks it and uses it to his advantage, and then he uses it throughout the show, and it's slowly revealed that the only reason he is so good at using it is because he's got the Nine-Tails Fox deep within him that he can feed chakra off of. Anyone else, when they use this move, it divides their chakra into, you know, however many clones they have, which is a huge risk. It totally wrecks the person who's using it. Naruto is special, and this becomes his signature move because of the Nine-Tails Fox, making this not only an insanely powerful move, but also a vitally important move to the overall plot of the show. A show which happens to be like one of the big shonen mangas, big shonen shows, so it's also vitally important to anime as a continuum. So this move,
It's the Disney of anime.
yes, and this move is fucking cool too. It's just like, I don't know, it's just fucking cool.
To go on that, aside from that, also it's the fact that it's a personification of everything that is Naruto. And the first season, Naruto is annoying as hell. Everyone knows that. It's meant to be that way. So what do you do with an annoying person? Make more of them.
More of them, yeah, absolutely.
This is something where he's so incompetent that he has to throw everything in the kitchen sink, which is essentially more of himself at it because he's so incompetent. And from that, as he develops, his technique gets to the point where he creates a chain of himself to launch himself at someone, and it's a fake of himself to distract other people from the actual self that's above everything, to the point where like he creates energy stuff and it requires more. He utilizes it
to unlock further moves.
It is amazing to watch. It's wonderful.
There's no Rasengan without Shadow Clone.
Look at these two preaching to the choir.
Oh my gosh, we
guys
didn't
live in a
even
bubble.
get into like the Toad School of
I'm
anything.
sorry, yeah, we barely got a chance to get into ours because you guys over here talking about your cardigans,
Freaking
and your-
wholesome.
Let's see how you
and
feel.
your darts.
Didn't
on
even get
slope.
into
Let's see
sexy
how wholesome
jutsu.
you really are voting for mine.
You know what's
Alright.
cool about Scorpion's move? It's that Naruto does that every fucking episode
Not
by
before
someone.
him.
I suppose. But it came first. All right, so we're going to get into the voting round.
When was
vote.
the manga published? No, wait.
And let's see. Who was the one who nominated?
I
First?
guess I.
First, who
no,
nominated first?
It was Will.
yeah.
It was Will.
Will. So you vote for or cast your vote for one of the options, which is of course the Naruto
right.
move.
Just say
Kano
Shadow
J.
Clone Jutsu.
Shadow Clone Jutsu. You can vote for that. You can vote for Mr. Rogers' sweater, or you can
Scorpion
vote for
Spear.
Scorpion Spear. What are you voting for?
All of these are iconic. 2 of them are actual moves. One of them is the best, and that's Kagebushin no Jutsu.
Okay.
There's a reason that this was the juggernaut of shonen. All right. I'm sorry, but Scorpion's a secondary character choice. We're gonna go with Kakibushin no Jutsu. I know. it's so iconic.
It's really.
Oh, if this
really
gets
tough.
triggered, I'm gonna be so angry.
I know, because we're really running out here.
It's really, really tough, right?
Now we're getting into those rounds where you have to look and see if there's anything else good out there,
I
too.
do love the Shadow Clone.
We all have one left.
You had a
That's
very.
true.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with the Scorpion Spear. I'm gonna stick with the Scorpion Spear. I don't think.
Joel, don't you go wholesome.
I don't.
I'm not gonna go wholesome. I'll go evil as shit and just say.
Oh no!
I'm just gonna say that for ninjas, Kagero from Ninja Scroll had the best ninja move there is. Seduction. She's pure poison. You have sex with her, you die. That's a real ninja, not some flying above bullshit and making all these replicas. Please, I hate that show. You guys, Scorpion wins this one.
I mean, it doesn't.
I mean,
know,
no,
but
you just
wins my
solidify that
vote.
he loses.
Wins my vote. So.
Yeah, because being a ninja is yelling at the top of your lungs at your opponent. That's very ninja-like.
sure
Get
they do
over
that.
here.
He was a ninja.
I
well,
said some other
I
ninja
can't
did it
use
better.
this argument.
I said ninjas.
To
a
be
different ninja
fair,
did it better.
if we're
Okay.
talking about good ninjas, his is wearing bright orange, ours is wearing
bright orange.
No.
bright yellow. Is
Yellow.
what I
Yeah,
meant to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Ours is wearing bright
Only
orange.
season 1 when he was in training. Okay, let's get into Shippuden, where he's doing
the
camo.
Series 1 he was in. He was
Naruto
in
Shippuden,
orange.
he starts wearing camo,
Does he?
along
Yeah, but
with
that's-
bright
that's a
orange, but
second-
whatever.
that's a second
it's
season.
bright orange and black, and which is still just very.
It's
bright
like what hunters wear.
All right, guys, this is it. Now we got to do this again.
This is bogus.
Our last ones. We all have to put one on here.
Freaking Heihachi, but you know what's gonna come out on top, don't you?
What you got?
We have My Hero Academia. We have Smoke Armageddon. Team Rocket blasting off again.
Oh
and
shit!
The
Yeah, boy.
Mentos hand, baby.
These are the picks that we have. Okay.
I believe Will's out of picks,
No,
actually.
he's
No.
got, he's
No?
got
I
Smoke
have
Armageddon.
a fatality left,
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's
which is how you should finish a match.
okay. All right. So is that everyone's pick?
That's
Like
it,
everyone
yeah.
only had one.
Yes, yeah.
You might have my
Everyone only
over
had one,
my
right?
Mentos.
Everyone
Yeah,
only had
that's
one.
it.
So we're just going with the last. We're going.
I'm like chewing
That's them for the rest of the class there?
So we're
boy?
going for the just whatever. So what do we have? Joel, you're nominating.
I'm doing Mentos hand. That's all I have.
Let's
You
all
have-
say what we're nominating then.
Yeah.
Mentos hand.
Mentos hand.
Will.
Smokes Armageddon fatality from Mortal Kombat 3.
Team Rocket blasting off again.
And then you're.
And then My Hero Academia's All Might's United States of Smash.
And I believe I go first.
Yes.
Go for it.
And
All right.
6 minutes on the clock. Go.
All these moves up until now have been what is done consciously. It's an action dictated by the person. What happens when there's a movement, a synonymous action that is happening whether or not? We have a predestination signature move on here, and that is Team Rocket's blasting off again. I thought about doing them digging a hole, which is their go-to plan as their signature move. But we're going to go with the fact that no matter what happens in every episode where they end up getting sent off unceremoniously, It's always predetermined, regardless of what they do. Basically, the world of Pokemon says this has all culminated to make sure that we make them blast off again. They have a little bomb off in the corner, and they're fighting over there. Well, you know that they're somehow going to get ricocheted off the wall so that they hit the bomb just right to blast off again. Who else here is going to do their move regardless if they want to or not? No one. No one. And that's why I think it deserves recognition, because it is a move that will happen regardless of the owners of said move wanting it to. You go ahead and tell me how they want to do their move. I'm going to talk about the fact that my move's getting done whether they like it or not.
Okay. I don't think my pick's gonna get on here because half of the cast hasn't seen it, right? I mean, so All Might, United States of Smash. I mean, Dominic, you know exactly what this means.
Awesome.
It is a visual.
It is a visual spectacle in the actual anime. It is All Might is a character who is built up as kind of like the iconic like #1 hero, and his move is the Smash move, and he calls out usually like cities or states or something like that. Like it's an Oklahoma Smash, and he'll have like a big move with
every once in a while. It's a city. It's very weird.
The United States of Smash is a move synonymous with a battle that is iconic in the 3rd season, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but this is an iconic fight. It has built up 3 seasons to this fight, and it is one of the most emotional moves that he does in this actual series. And you've built up with this character for so long that this, like, everything he musters together in this one move, and everything that he is, he puts his whole entire being and his whole hero-ness on the line to create this one move to defeat this villain, and who is like the end-all be-all villain of the everything that for him. And it is just a move that for me, building up 3 seasons to it, and everything in that fight and everything that it meant, like it brought a tear to my eye. Like this fight, that arc, everything in that, like that it meant, and like having that last move and him pulling it out in the end and still publicly showing that he still has it, like that was an iconic thing for me in that series. And that's all I can say about it. But I understand if it doesn't get on because half the cast hasn't seen it. It's a build up for 3 seasons to that arc, to that fight, to this move, right? And that's all I can say about it.
All right.
Something bad has to happen to you first, though.
I gotta roll on a wet park bench because I gotta make stripes on my jacket. Oh, I broke my heel on my shoes. Snap off the other one. Now you got flats. What do you know? They are always the reason why everything works out. That's all I can say.
Well,
Miss your cab, share it with someone very attractive.
I just ate one, so hopefully everything's going to work out for me right now because I want my thing on the list. We talked about the badassness of Scorpion and his get over here. I'm talking about another ninja from that game that also happens to be a fucking cyborg. That is Smoke, who's totally, honestly, fucking weird. Like, his entire moveset is just odd. But
in a reskin.
Sold.
But let's look at this because this isn't just a move. This is a fatality. This is the whole reason you get into Mortal Kombat. And like I said, this is the first one I ever learned. Smoke throws out these little bombs here and there, and they hurt, whatever. When you get to his fatality, he starts dropping these things like they're fucking Easter eggs all over the place. And then you just zoom out to see the entire Earth. And you're like, oh, you're going to see an explosion. The entire fucking Earth explodes. This isn't just a move. This isn't just a fatality.
Shattering.
This is Armageddon, man. That's why they call it that. And it is brutal. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's everything you've come to expect from Mortal Kombat. I love it. It holds a special place in my heart. It is, Smoke's the only one that does it. I'll tell you that much. It's very signature. I think it deserves a place on this list. I think it's amazing. That's all I have to say.
Bravo. Well
also, Mentos are delicious.
Yes, they are.
Just don't drop them in Pepsi.
Choke's better.
They
But
end
yes,
the world.
No, I mean, like, because, yeah.
And I think with that, with like 30 seconds on clock, I'm just going to stop the clock, and we'll go into the voting phase then. So this is very interesting. I really hope that like we don't have some sort of stalemate here because there's no other fucking picks, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I will say this. Something has to make it on this list. One of these picks will have to make it. So here we go. This is the final voting round.
I'm just going to say the Team Rocket one's creative. I don't think anyone's thought of it before, but something more creative came up. Mentos. And that gets my vote.
Oh, my fucking God.
He starts it off strong. Jelani, keep this going. You hear that theme, and you say, "What do you do?"
I
when
fucking
you
hate
do that?
everything about this.
You know what's
What
more
do you do
wholesome
in
than
pop culture when you hear that damn song?
I fucking hate everything.
You know what's more wholesome than Mr. Rogers? Mr. Rogers offering a Mentos.
What are you guys gonna do?
I'm never watching this show again.
You say that, but honestly,
This
we're a
fucking
pop culture
hurts.
show, you guys.
This hurts because I know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like one of like
Everything's falling off.
No, we have 3 other votes.
There you have
We have 3
you
other
have
votes.
4 choices. It could be 3 Team Rockets.
Yeah. You have a chance to change this. Make a wise choice. If you don't want the Mentos.
Number
hand,
2 spot. That was easy.
Essentially, Will and I have to go with whatever you choose. Or that. Or mine.
We don't have to.
No, we don't. But then what happens? We have to make a decision.
dislike everything that's going on right now. Okay, let's see.
can either
So
do your almighty smash.
Dominic abandoned Team Rocket. I don't think All Might.
Look,
Smash
if
is
Naruto's
gonna-
not going to win, it's got to be Mentos.
I don't think All Might Smash is gonna take it because there's no build up to it for everybody else.
We watched it. Pretty badass by the end of it. Like, super duper build up. Did you play Mortal Kombat 3?
Who didn't play Mortal Kombat 3? That was the best one.
I played a lot of Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat
Because
2
it's
for
one of-
Sega Genesis with the blood code.
Because
Mortal
because
Kombat
it, well,
3
look-
for Sega
okay.
Genesis with the blood code.
Okay, real
No,
quick.
spine rip
okay,
then.
Real quick. Sega didn't need a blood code because it was the edgy one. Nintendo needed the blood code because they changed it to sweat. But
No, they had green blood
I
in their
will.
Also, the spine thing was Sub-Zero, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one I remember more.
This sucks.
Was it Sub-Zero? Because I thought that his
Sub-Zero.
was he freezes you and then shatters you.
One of these is gonna make it on
Scorpion
the
rips
list.
off.
huh?
No,
Wow.
that wasn't a fatality though. That was just you
That's
could
just a
do
regular
that
move.
once.
What do we
they
have on
started.
the list right now?
All right,
What's on
so
the list?
Okay.
we have the All Might Smash, Mentos Hand, Team Rocket, and I'm sorry, you want the
No,
other-
not
okay.
the real list.
And
What do
then
we have?
Smoke Armageddon. This isn't for number 1,
It's number 2. I know.
and we already have Omni Slash, a video game. We have Karate Kid.
Oh, stop that!
We have Karate Kid, a movie. We have.
Don't list off. That's at the end. I always say what's the big beautiful
All right,
list.
all right.
I
You know
will-
I did the
will-
power play here.
This is what I will do.
Hold on. This is Jelani's gonna struggle.
This is
with
what I will
Let's see
do.
what he does.
Right?
This is good.
Because I'm sorry, I've never seen that fatality, and it sounds awesome, but I haven't seen that fatality. I don't remember it. After
You know what
all
you
the
have
fatalities,
seen?
but I have seen the fucking Mentos.
Don't fucking vote for it based on that. Vote on something good. We'll sort it out after this round. Don't put Mentos at number
Dude,
2.
that is iconic as hell, and one of the
Come
best
on.
things you could do.
It's
for
not
all right,
even-
commercial. Name another commercial that you can think
Name the person that executes
of.
that
Every person that's
signature
in a
move.
every person.
No,
that's-
name
Mentos.
them.
Mentos.
Name
Mentos.
that
Mentos.
person.
It doesn't even matter because it's the Mentos.
It doesn't
turned-
even qualify for the topic.
Nobody clarified. It totally fits.
It's a signature move of
It
Mentos,
is
I gotta
not
say.
a signature move. It is product placement.
I will.
Damn
you know
right.
What? I
Best damn product
I can't handle
placement.
this, guys. This is too much pressure.
It's
it is
almost as signature as
disqualified.
Twins
Come
with
on.
Double Mint. Almost.
Tell me why it's disqualified. If you guys can defend
Because
that,
whose
go ahead.
signature move is it?
So
Men-
what, yours
Mentos.
How
was-
can it be a
yours?
sig-
What you said the same thing about the Spirit Bomb and the Kamehameha. It's like you
Yeah.
can say that about a number of these on here that it's not an individual's move.
If the entire turtle school can
So
do the
that-
Kamehameha wave, then
And
any
that's the
bystander can
argument
do the
that
Mentos.
And that's the
And they
argument
do.
that I
They
said.
do it
They
anytime-
do.
anytime
That was
you
my
hold the damn
You're
Mentos.
using my argument.
Against you, yes.
No, you're using my argument like I didn't say it.
Well, I'm just saying, if you got a
My
roll
argument is the same thing against this.
If you got a roll of fresh pack of Mentos and you bit the top off and you were around a bunch of friends at a bar, what would you probably do with it?
No, I got the counter. I got the counter. Will. I got the counter. Whose signature move is Spirit Bomb?
I said it was Goku's.
And you're wrong.
Okay, great, fine. We're not arguing that.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're able to put that on your list, he can put Mentos on his list.
He can put it on his list. It doesn't mean it qualifies.
Well, all right. First off,
Come
you
on.
being an outlier.
Come on.
Shit, man, this is bad.
Come
I
on.
don't remember.
You need to make a decision.
I don't remember the Armageddon.
I do.
I love how he's reaching. He's like, I don't actually know what this is, and I don't remember what
But
it
he
looks
sure
like,
knows
but I
what the
can't vote for the
Mentos
other
looks
thing
like.
that I
You
do
can
know.
vote for like your pick.
You can.
Yeah,
I'm gonna, just because I can't, I fucking can't. I'm gonna stick with All Might then. I will stick with All Might. I
Okay.
can't. I can't. All right, I'm sticking with All Might Smash.
Crap.
Okay.
All right, then
That seals it.
yeah.
Joel.
Yeah.
Joel, no. There's still time for Will.
Well, what, you think he's going to ever vote
Yes.
for that?
Yeah, I think he's going to pull one over, and he's going to win the hearts of millions
By taking
of
Mentos?
hypothetical viewers.
What? Hey, dude, if you chose
So
the
what's your vote?
What's your
How
vote?
much did you love
No,
that Mentos
just
you
So it was
pick your vote.
delicious.
Pick your vote.
ate? Ugh,
Why is
now
it
it's on
conflicted for
me.
you? You just spent like 5 minutes trying to convince him.
because it's hilarious, but all right.
What you gonna do, Joe? Stick with.
Man, I picked
stick with
Mentos
what you're
like
gonna
that.
stick
You
I
guys
know,
are
it's-
struggling.
All right,
Change
it's
it.
Mentos.
Is it Mentos?
It's Mentos.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go with the United States of Smash.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
So what do we do?
okay. So there needs to be like these are the final picks. Everything else has fallen off.
Oh, I got an
So-
idea. Hold on. We knock the two off that we just have, and we have the
that
two.
won't change anything.
Okay.
Now you have Smoke Armageddon and Team Rocket.
No,
left.
let's pick from our honorable mentions.
Oh
I-
One
my
is-
god.
Okay,
Let Jelani come up with
before, when this happened before, what we did is we dropped the picks to number 5, moved everything up, and the ones that got the votes actually were in still contention for number 5, which are the Mentos and the All Might Smash would be, because we're split on it. And I think we would have to enter another debate on this and see whether or not we can win a vote for either one. Otherwise,
I like the runners up though. That could be fun to just say.
yeah, but the thing is,
It's your fault for not
But-
having
but the thing
Kakibushin, I
is-
swear to
But
God.
the thing is, like the problem with honorable mentions is that like we have
so many of
we have someone who did like a 200 like
I'm
list,
not gonna do that.
and then we have someone who did like me. I did
100.
4.
100.
So like if everything keeps knocking
told
off,
you-
it can.
No,
I know.
I
but
think-
but it can be an infinite like knockoff. You know what I mean? Because like we have infinite lists.
I think
of
we
honorable
should just
mentions.
have a list of 4. We have nothing left. Everything has been knocked off.
Godzilla Atomic Breath.
It's not on the official lists.
I
I'm
think
like,
we
all
should.
right,
I think we should be forced as punishment to have a list of 4.
This is the first time this has happened.
Yes,
feel-
because no one saved a Heihachi.
Yeah, that's
couldn't.
true.
So,
We could.
so
Yeah, I can.
oh, we could. Have,
Oh, I c- yeah.
No,
we
you
have
couldn't.
double
You guys
ups.
eliminated-
No.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
if no one had double ups, then yeah.
Yeah.
So I think as our punishment, we have to have 4. We can't go pulling
Yeah, but
things
then you
in.
can't. Then we scoot
can't
everything
pull
up.
Yeah,
We scoot everything up.
we can't pull in stuff that has been eliminated.
Or we could go back into the knockout list. I don't know what you guys want to do.
No, knockout list
like,
is knocked
that's
out.
always
Okay.
been what it is, and this is also a discussion that we're gonna have to have because, like Will has, we've talked about this before, but I think that like we're gonna need to have an impartial judge on the outside of this because
All right.
like these splits-
Maybe we can toss it up to the viewers and
Should
do a
I
vote for
Text
them
Amy.
offline.
No, I like this. Why don't we?
We each, after this is done, will decide on our pick, and it can be something that's knocked
So
off
this
on the
is-
list for the
so
poll.
this is what will happen.
Put up a
All the
survey
picks are
on
moved down.
Facebook.
Everything's moved down. We have a top 4 list right now, and that's what we have for the number 5 list. I will put up a poll on our Facebook or wherever the fuck I can make a poll.
We're limited to our choices, though. I think.
We're limited
The last-
to the split decision, which is we
No,
split on
we
that, right?
can-
Or do you want to do
No,
it
no,
for-
no.
Let's
anything.
Put it up to whatever was
The last 4.
proposed.
Oh,
Let's
that's-
put it up to
anything that was
whatever out
proposed
there.
for this. Well,
the 4?
we can
Yeah,
nominate
so 4?
some stuff ourselves from our list that we think should be put towards
no,
it.
no,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
the last ones that
the
we
last
had up
4.
there.
The last 4, I think.
You
is
think the last 4?
I
because-
think it
because
should
I think
be
polls all-
whatever's out there.
I think it should be whatever's out there because
anything.
everything got stricken.
Exactly. Everything
Yeah.
got eliminated. So let's
But
put
you
it
can
out
chalk
there for whatever they want.
The only thing is, I think we are allowed to be what picks from our list to put towards the poll.
For number 5.
Yeah, for the number 5 spot.
That's
So
fine.
you get
I'll
to
be
pick
there.
what from your list you want to be the number 5 spot, and same with all of us. And then it's out of our hands
Okay,
for the
so
poll.
then we'll this is the first time this is gonna happen. This is an impartial audience vote on this. I will put up a poll as soon as I can, and everyone right now is gonna nominate from their eliminated picks for a poll for the number 5 spot, which will be voted on by the actual audience. So who wants to nominate from the list first of eliminated stuff?
I'll go again. I think it should be Kagebushin no Jutsu from Naruto.
Okay.
All right.
While I want to second it, I do want to make the poll a little bit bigger. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Goku Kamehameha will be on there for me.
Okay. What did I have?
I'm gonna go with Mr. Rogers putting sweater on.
I'm actually fearful of that right now, because I know how these internet polls go, man.
The Mentos would have been.
I-
You might be
too.
catering to an audience
I'm
that we
gonna-
didn't know we had.
I will put the Scorpion Spear then.
All right.
That's what will happen here. So that this is an official audience vote. If you're watching, hopefully you are. Be on the lookout for a poll that I will try and figure out how to do.
Jelani, plug them where this is going to be posted.
Again, you guys can.
Let's just make it a Facebook poll.
Is it a Facebook poll?
Yeah.
Okay, I can
Facebook
make
poll
Facebook can make
and
polls,
Twitter.
right?
Twitter. Let's make that Twitter too.
Yeah, you can do them on there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
do
can
I
you
do
do 4
two
choices?
separate polls? Or do
Well,
I,
you could just do strawpoll.com and put it up there and then link it.
I don't even know how that works.
People are gonna
That-
do that. Just do it on Facebook. We're connected
Facebook.
with
Okay.
more people on
I will do a Facebook poll. All right, and you can go. You can follow us at Pop Samurai. Search us on Facebook for that. We have our page there. You can go there, cast a vote for the picks here: the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Kamehameha Wave, the Scorpion Spear, or Mr. Rogers sweater.
Be sure to leave a
what's
comment of anything that you thought we missed as well.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's a lot of our honorable mentions lists. But all right, Joel, read me off that big 4 beautiful. lists.
Slightly less big, beautiful list.
Number 4, Rocks People's Elbow.
Yeah.
Number 3, Sonic Spin
Yeah, that
Dash.
got moved up.
Number 2, Karate Kid Crane Kick. And number 1, the Omni Slash from.
That's the only one I'm happy about.
Dominic has nothing on
Yeah,
this
those are
list
pretty
this
good.
week.
I'm
I
happy,
have
I'm
nothing
happy,
on this
I'm
list.
happy with these. I'm happy with the list.
You were close.
It's
I don't care.
this year has shown a weakness in the actual game itself, but we'll have to figure that out eventually outside the podcast. But
We'll workshop it.
This
we'll
is very
workshop it.
subjective, clearly.
So, folks out there,
You're subjective.
we thank you so much for joining us for the contention. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break to relieve ourselves and maybe grab some air, and we'll be back on in about 5 minutes.
Cancer
So
sticks.
do stick with us, and we're going to transition over to Pop Aficionados, where we'll talk about some cool pop culture things and topics and just random news. And so we'll just have some fun with it, guys.
And there's quite a bit actually.
There's quite a bit of news. So join us in a little bit. We'll be right back on in just a second, guys. So do bear with us. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another great Pop Aficionados. I'm your host, Jelani Hoon, along with hosts
Joel Bragi,
Will Washkin,
and Dominic Serena.
Thank you so much for joining us here once again. We're brought to you by Gatorade
and Mentos.
H2O.
And Mentos.
Oh boy!
Thank you guys so much for joining us here. If you guys are rejoining us from Pop Contention,
And
thank
no one
you
is
so much
watching now.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. If you're new and you're just joining us now, we just had a great matchup, and there's an evolution happening with the game, and it's gonna be very fun. But we'll announce all of that next in the following weeks to come. So, folks, this is Pop Aficionados. This is our show where we talk about random pop culture topics, news, things like that, reviews and stuff like that. We leave it open to the floor. Everyone brings the topic, has some fun, and we just, we gather on these mics, we spit that hot fire for you guys, and we just have some fun, guys. So once again, you guys can find us. Check out the poll that's going up soon on Facebook on Pop Samurai, on the Pop Samurai page. I'll share the link if I can. But on the Pop Samurai page, we're going to have a poll for that number 5 spot of our contention list. And I'm
going to vote twice.
It's going to be fun, guys. So, hopefully
Vote early, vote often.
That's right. It's Pop Aficionados time, guys. Boop, boop, boop,
Hey-o.
Who's got a topic or review or anything like that they want to talk about?
I have some controversy, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it. And it is film-based, actually.
Oh, my.
YouTube-based.
Go for it.
So we had a release of a fan film made called Vader Shards, right?
Okay.
Essentially, this was private...
Vader Sharts? Is that right?
Shards of the Past is what it's called.
Oh, God,
okay.
what did I eat?
Yeah.
It's all crusty.
Now, the individual that made this got the go-ahead from Disney to use Vader and the likenesses of the other characters and created a fan film out of pocket. He was not allowed to advertise on the video, and he was not allowed to monetize the video because it's with products that are now owned by Disney and Lucasfilm.
Now he's got a job.
No. What happened with the controversy is that it got copyright stricken, and the rights were then given to Disney, who then monetized the video.
I didn't know that.
The mouse is evil.
So,
God, see?
There has been a development with this, though, but I want to get your opinion before I say what development happened with it. So, what do you guys think of that whole scenario? Do you think Disney has a right to monetize it, or do you think with the agreement that they should hold it to the standard?
I don't think Disney should be able to earn 1 red cent from it. I don't think they should be able to even air it.
Right?
Who
did all the work?
The individual
I know,
and everyone that was
point. So
involved
it's
with his
It's
private.
a shame because that person, it seems very, they went right to their lawyers and they're like, just let them do it. We'll take copyright right when they release it, and then we'll make money off it.
And it is true. He did not monetize the video, and he did not put ads on it as promised.
Yeah, so it feels kind of shady. They just probably found their way legally around that, and that's kind of shitty on their part.
The argument was that he did a rendition of the Imperial March, but what actually happened was he did a knockoff version where he got his own composer to make a similar Imperial March, but they said that it was too much of a likeness.
Okay.
So. Jelani, any opinions on that?
I haven't heard anything about this. And
Yeah, I didn't
that's
know
a
the
weird thing. I'm
controversy.
sorry, I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, that's why I was
Did you
bringing
know
it
the
up.
film came out?
No,
Because they've been keeping it hush-hush.
Yeah,
so.
and I don't know how to feel about this actually. So it's a weird thing. He didn't monetize anything. He kept it and I think that's the right way of doing it, especially if you're doing it as a fan, as an ode or homage or a tribute to something. And I think it's kind of screwed up that they did that, but I understand how big corporations have all their do all this shit to people and content creators, and even for stuff that's going on with us, I don't monetize any of the videos on YouTube, and we had some copyright strikes on our stuff. With the trivia matches, because I do use the sound clips, but it doesn't matter to me because I don't monetize anything. So they're not getting anything.
Yeah,
from it anyways.
they're not getting your.
But they just made a claim anyways. But that's not a problem. But I think that just how everything works out and how corporations work, and there's so many people in them, someone's gonna go after everything no matter what. I think, and so it's
crappy
shitty
that they tried to come up with a deal and then kind of went back on it.
The difference is that he paid his dues for getting entry to be able to even create the fan film.
Exactly, and so that's the thing. I think it's a very shitty thing to do, and I don't know what's gonna have to happen now, because it is like there's no monetization of it, and
they are.
Yeah, so
monetized it.
that's the real straw that breaks the camel's back for me, is they took it and they're now doing what they instructed him not to do, and I don't know how he doesn't immediately pull the strings on it and say that
because he's a fan.
This guy made a better movie.
But
everyone
loves
his
IP.
This guy made a better movie than Solo. Hurry up and take it.
It wasn't until it reached, I believe, the 6 million mark that they decided to monetize it. So it wasn't until it was successful that they decided to claim it. Now this has been resolved. How this happened was it was a private strike, which means it was a single person that did the strike. It wasn't an automation thing. It wasn't like an algorithm that triggered with Star Wars, and so like their automated device that does a copyright strike triggered. So what ended up happening to resolve this was Lucasfilm came out and called out Disney for the malpractice, and so they have since decided to demonetize it. So
yeah, but did they get to keep the money?
No.
That they already made?
No, and people are already talking about him because this was an episode 1 type deal where he wanted to do a series around Vader Shards of the Past, and people are calling for another one. So it's inconclusive whether he's actually going to be able to get the funds, because he stated that he would have made about $80,000, which would have covered the cost of it if he had monetized the video.
Like I said, he's going to get a job out of this.
He should. And
like,
that's
hey,
the
you're
thing.
creative.
If you watch it, it's actually really good.
That's the thing, is Disney should be lining up to give him a job, because he has already proven that he can make them money.
Hey, you have talent, and people like it. Yeah, but I think that people liked it also because it's an independent.
Who can make
That's
you
cool.
money.
Yeah.
You put those people on your staff.
And it's not like they don't have the funds to do so.
Yeah.
No, that I think that's the big thing, is like this is like pennies to Disney if you look at their overall intake.
Right, but that's not the point. The point is he's now proven his value.
Yes.
Yeah, or just like, hey, maybe people want to see more out of this guy now. Why not give him a chance at actually being part of a big group to do this?
Yeah, and it would be the right thing to do. Like, do right by this guy, because you screwed him over, and it's a PR nightmare if you don't.
Well, they're already like making fans upset with them, right? So
Yes.
how do you come back from this without pissing them off more?
Well, oddly enough, though, it was
pay the
Lucasfilm that called him out.
I think that's what I was thinking. The money that they made off of it, why don't they donate it to him so that he can cover his costs?
That's now the creator has been very humble with the experience, because he was happy that he was given the opportunity. If I were him, I definitely would have like maybe like hinted at like it would be nice to have the money, but he's actually remained pretty reasonable over the course. I do hope that he goes on to do stuff, and maybe now that the fan base has seen what he can do, that he gets some backers.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I do hope that he gets more backing, and he gets like people who support him and things like that. And I want to believe that like in this world, like the way that the way he handled it was probably the right way of doing it, as you're describing it, like being humble about it, being not fighting fire with fire, but like trying to quell it, and it's the way that he handled it, I think was probably one of the more high roads to take on this, and like I think it made him come out looking a lot more better as well on the other side, if he would have like raged out.
Well,
which is very
let's
common
see if
these
Disney
days.
can match that, is I guess the point, because it's
I'm
like,
just willing to rage on his behalf is all I'm saying.
And that's the thing. If you have people who support you and love you, like they'll rage out on your behalf regardless. So like
companies are ruthless though, and that's the tough thing to think about. It's like, we all found out that there are essentially like slave factories for Apple phones, yet they don't care that that now. They're still producing them, and we're still buying them, right? So they know that we'll still chew up any Star Wars products. I mean, here's one right in front of us.
Well, I think Solo was a good indicator of like the fans voting with their wallets. I do hope it continues.
Yeah, but I just think it's like news passes sometimes, and so I hope it doesn't. But it's like,
it wasn't until people shouted that Lucasfilm was able to react to it.
I'm glad that they did. So you get a larger voice in the fight. So.
But anyway, that's just some controversy right at the
shitty.
beginning here. If anyone else wants to go with any other news from this point,
Spider-Man.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if we want to go into some trailers and stuff like that, yeah. So we got a trailer for Spider-Man: Far From Home. Has everyone seen it?
I have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do we feel about the trailer?
I'm interested about Mysterio.
Okay.
Played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
Not the worst choice.
I liked
the
him in
worst choice.
Nightcrawler. After seeing him in Nightcrawler, I definitely can see him as a villain.
Oh yeah, and
So.
actually he's got another film coming out. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for that. Something Velvet. What's it called? Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yes, yeah.
Looks very
Which
interesting.
it looks
by the guy who
disturbing.
did Nightcrawler.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I loved Nightcrawler.
did
So
too.
I will say this: like, I think that I love Spider-Man: Homecoming, right? I think that this is a weird timing thing with this trailer.
Yeah, I did too.
I just
They didn't wait for Endgame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems very weird, and
Maybe you get the idea out there.
It throws me off a little bit, and they could have done so many other things, but I feel like that they wanted to rush Spider-Man to the in the zeitgeist and try to, but I don't believe that they wouldn't have had enough time to advertise everything they were trying to do. I think they're just kind of rushing it, and so
Well, keep in mind they have to appease Sony right now as well.
Yeah, they have
This
a limited
stinks-
contract.
This stinks of Sony.
Yeah.
honestly.
Is it that, or is it that the fan hype for Spider-Man right now is high, so get people interested now?
But why split the fandom
Maybe.
like that between getting hyped for Endgame and getting hyped for
Well, Spider-Man's not this year, is it?
Endgame is?
No, but Spider-Man is.
It is not,
2020?
no.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
2020.
So that's so far off. They had enough time.
and so
Well,
that's
yeah, they could have waited.
and that's what I'm saying. They showed a lot, and
Yes, they did.
And for a trailer that they posted before Endgame, and we all know what happened in Infinity War. It just seems weird in the timing.
we know
right?
more about that movie than Endgame, right?
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
elementals are there.
You're not. Yeah, you're not wrong.
We know a lot more about the story of Spider-Man: Far From Home than we do about Endgame now,
Yeah.
which is
Spider-Man
very-
and Holmes, man.
which is very fucking weird. But I mean, overall, I liked the trailer. I liked what they showed. I liked that the Mysterio look. I like that.
And he flips the helmet up.
I like that they showed off a bunch of different what look like classic Spider-Man characters, but are probably not. They're probably illusions from Mysterio, but
Possibly, yeah.
that's the
Well,
big.
he says to
that's the
stay
big.
out of this, right? So
It's the big fan theory that Mysterio is making himself look like a hero.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I thought it was the.
Because he's all about
elementals.
illusions. So.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how it's gonna go, but I mean overall it does look good. But I feel like the timing is really weird on this trailer, especially with everything that's Avengers and Endgame.
Well, one more thing.
I
about
didn't
the
like it.
content.
I didn't like the
one,
trailer.
One more thing about the content before we move on from this. And I'm sorry if you want to say your piece.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
wanna- you guys go
I
ahead on
just
opinions.
No, I just thought less would be more on this one, especially with Endgame.
A teaser would have been fine.
Yeah, a teaser I would have settled for a teaser where it's just
Put the
like
mask on.
yeah, like you see Jake Gyllenhaal at the very end and maybe he closes the mask or something and then that's it, kind of thing.
So I like the trailer as a full trailer for a Spider-Man film. I think the timing's weird, right? And I think that they should have waited on this. And if anything, they should have teased it differently. Like they put everything out there, and so it's like, how does this fit with Endgame? Like,
Yes,
obviously it
that's my
spoils a lot
problem.
of
That's
stuff.
what I was
it
gonna
makes it
ask.
weird.
Well,
it
no, it's not
looks
only
like a
that,
generic trailer though. I feel like they didn't try
Well,
at
hold
all.
on though. What time frame does this take place in?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they tried. I mean, there's a lot in this trailer, and there's a lot of effects in this trailer, and I think that it made a lot of people hype for Spider-Man. But the problem is, it screws with the Avengers stuff.
No, I'm talking about the trailer in general. I'm not talking about the movie itself, like what they showed. I'm just saying they had an opening with a pop culture music followed by the Spider-Man theme orchestrated in, and then it's just I don't know. It just felt really cookie cutter.
I mean, it felt like a Homecoming trailer as well. I mean, it felt very Homecoming. I mean, it didn't feel any different from it. I don't think. But
Which is what people
but
like.
the whole thing is they advertised it weird. Like if this would have came out after Avengers Endgame,
day after.
I think for me it would have played a lot more better. And they could have teased it a lot more because they show in the trailer Spider-Man in a different suit, in different suits, and they could have just made. They could have not shown Tom Holland, alluded to oh, is this a different Spider-Man? Is it someone else?
I assume
they
this
could've-
takes
That's what I
place
mean. It's
before
the
all of
lost
this.
art of show don't tell,
Well,
or
it's- it must
Yeah,
take
they
place.
showed a lot.
It
and
must
that's the
take
problem.
place before the events of
I don't think so.
Infinity War.
I don't think so, but then again, it might. I don't know.
I'd have to watch it again, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it takes place right after everything that happens in Avengers, or if it's taking place before. But it just seems very
Well, he's
weird.
gone. He must come back, and then the world gets steady and comfortable.
It either-
But we
again
kind of
yeah.
knew that.
to travel to Europe and be fine.
It either
and-
spoils a lot about Avengers, or it's taking place before Avengers
I-
Endgame, which is weird. They don't want to allude to any of that.
Not anything more gets spoiled than the time stamp on the contracts. As soon as you know how long that they're supposed to be playing that
When does
character, I
that-
think that's a pretty
when does
much
it
a
end?
dead giveaway. Robert Downey Jr. I think they were talking as well as Chris Hemsworth.
No, but the Sony thing.
I think it's the number of movies before, because Sony Pictures was entirely Venom.
Yeah.
But I think they have like 3 movie deals with.
If I were Sony, I'd be sucking the teat of that. What are they doing?
I mean, Sony has made some interesting choices over the years.
I'm just saying, like, come on, Avengers, you're not going to go wrong with them.
Sony.
Let him be part of this.
Sony, if you're listening, I loved Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems
do more of that.
It's a weird timing of a trailer, but So, what else do we got here? I'm forgetting what was out there.
I just saw one earlier today. It was the man who killed Hitler and then killed Bigfoot. Did you guys see this one yet?
That movie's already been out then, right? If I remember.
No, I just saw the trailer today.
Well, I thought it was at like Sundance Film Festival, like it's been at film
I don't know.
festivals.
That might be true because it's winning like awards and a lot of it's supposedly like classic Americana, like awesome film supposedly.
Looks like it's got Sam Elliott in it.
Yeah.
It was a 2018 film. Yes, it is
okay,
out there.
but it's now hitting major theaters? Is that what it is?
That
They
is-
always pull this crap.
Let's see. A lot to live up to. Was Sam Elliott starting?
It might have private screenings.
Yeah, I don't know, but the trailer finally came up for me, and that's rare that I would have missed something from 2018. Right?
Yeah.
But it looks very cool. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I heard about it.
Like-
That's the extent that I have.
Yeah. Okay. And then.
Well, I mean, besides that, we had a teaser for
GB.
the Ghostbusters.
I have not seen that one.
So it's what a teaser should be.
Yeah.
It doesn't
perfect.
show anything.
It's perfect.
But,
Is this a continuation of 2016?
No,
No.
it is going back. It is a sequel to the original universes. I think it might be part 3. It's being
Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd.
I think just
I
Bill Murray
don't
so far.
know exactly.
It says Bill
right
Murray.
right now. They might be attached. They might not be.
Harry Reid, was it?
But we're looking at as it takes place in the same universe as as the original
Well, do you
films.
want to discuss what happens? Go ahead if you want to give.
In the trailer?
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer literally is the camera going up to a barn, and it has a classic Ghostbusters
Well, it's like you hear noises like
orchestrated theme.
No. You hear
You hear
welding.
the proton pack.
Oh,
firing.
that,
the charge up
That's
sound?
at the end. I'm saying like what they're doing is they're getting the Ecto 1.
No, it's not. So when you go up to the car is under a tarp, and the tarp blows up. But like the proton, there's a proton
what it
pack
is? Okay.
beam that's going off, and so it's a very good tease. And it's coming off 2020, which is like, wow, this is like announced like super fast. It's being
It's Sony Pictures,
I think
then.
it's directed and written by Jason
Reitman.
which
yeah.
is the son of Ivan Reitman, who did the actual original movie.
Cool.
So
I'm a little
it's
conflicted with Sons doing stuff though, because it's not a guarantee.
No.
not a guarantee, but I think the teaser they gave us felt right, and me being a Ghostbusters fan, I'm excited to hear where this goes. But there's not much news about it right now. I think right now they're saying that it's a younger cast that's going to be taking up the mantles, maybe. I don't know where it's going to go or what's
Have they
gonna
announced the cast, or is this just a full-on teaser?
In the
a
trailer
full-on
I saw
teaser.
that they said Bill Murray's in it. So
I don't know.
It could be a passing of the torch sort of
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
I'm
what they're
sure.
doing is passing the torch. But
I will not see it unless Dan Aykroyd is involved. I'll say that right now. That this was his love child, so
yeah, that's true.
True. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I have to say it's kind of sad because it seems like it's immediately going to slam the door closed on the all-female iteration of Ghostbusters, which was a pretty big hit, actually. A lot of people who saw that movie fell in love with it.
There was-
the box office says otherwise, though.
Yeah, the box office did not agree with it.
No,
But,
no. There was so much controversy surrounding the release that it just killed the box office.
Yeah,
And-
it's a the 2016 right
Yes.
2016 version of Ghostbusters. I didn't think it was a bad film. But at the same time, like for those, there was a huge backlash on it from like people who are fans of the original, and like it's
The trailer is the most hated trailer on YouTube.
yeah, and
Wow.
that's,
I
yeah,
didn't know
realize
that.
yeah. So it's a weird thing, and like I think that I don't wish any ill will on that movie because I don't think it's a bad film. But I as being a Ghostbusters fan, I don't think it did live up to like the originals. But like
It was
I
a
mean,
different film.
It was a different film, different cast, and it had a lot to live up to. But I don't hate the film, and I'm not like raging out about it. But like there was a lot of rage about it. There was a lot of controversy about it, with a lot of changes on it, and so it's a weird, controversial topic, and you know, it's sad to see where it went. I'd hope better for it, but you know, hey, that's where we are.
Sure.
So, any other topics for anybody else?
Do we want to go down the list of shit that Will is watching and playing right now?
Sure, go ahead.
Cool. So I finally saw Into the Spider-Verse
Okay.
with
Yes.
Dom.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing.
Wasn't it?
I can finally talk about it now, so if you want to talk about
Joel,
it.
have you
hit me
seen
up.
it though?
I haven't yet. No.
Joel is the last one. He's
bust,
the
yeah.
last person living
The
under
bastion.
that particular rock.
Why the last one?
I don't know.
It is good. I highly recommend it. Go see it. Best Spider-Man film that I've seen ever.
Good.
I want to say ever.
See, that's
there
the
it
thing.
is.
That's the thing. That's
We
the
were
thing.
wondering.
It's like it's right there.
I want to
like,
say ever.
I had the same thing. I was wondering if it was gonna be the same across the board here, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I got to see Will's reaction with a couple of twists.
Oh
which
my
was
god,
nice.
so good.
yeah, the characterizations, the animation style, the music, everything is so good. I still listen to the soundtrack. So
Outstanding.
everything was outstanding.
I love that he's mumbling through that.
Yeah,
too. That's so good.
You know, it's Post Malone. So
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm just kidding, Post Malone. If you're watching, we're being watched by Post Malone.
Post Malone is our biggest fan. Actually, he runs
he's
our
the-
fan club.
Don't out the
one
guy.
the one person who's watching is
He just
yeah.
wants to watch us privately in his
doesn't-
own homes.
He doesn't want people to know that he watches this shit either.
I don't. I
Yeah.
mean,
I don't want people to
I
know.
participate.
This hot take brought to you by Dominic Serena. Anyways, the anime that I'm watching right now, I am watching Neon Genesis Evangelion.
How many episodes?
I'm almost done with it.
Okay.
I'm on episode 20 out of I think like
22,
26,
23 or so?
22, something like that.
Number in the
So
alphabet?
I'm almost done. Fucking weird show, but I'll get
Oh,
back to you
just
more.
wait till the last 3
Yeah, it's
episodes,
just-
my man.
It's,
Fucking
I mean, yeah, it's an iconically weird show.
It's an iconically weird show. I'm noticing a trend with all those like great old animes that have made themselves part of like the Mount Rushmore of anime. Is they're fucking weird.
Yeah,
Like there's just parts of it where you're like, do I need to be stoned right now? Do I need to like drop something?
Yeah,
because
there's-
I don't get this.
Yeah, there's a lot of like interpretations to be had by a lot of different like of the Mount Rushmores of like anime.
We can agree his dad's a dick, though, right?
Oh, his dad's a total fucking dick. Yeah, absolutely.
But Shinji's imperfect, though.
Loving it. Shinji is a very flawed character.
Yeah,
All of the characters in that show are very flawed characters,
and I love it for that.
and it's good for that.
It,
yes.
what is it? His caretaker's an alcoholic.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. She has beers with breakfast all the time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. It's,
What else you got?
I am watching High Score Girl. I'm
Nice.
almost done with
Isn't
that.
it awesome?
It's very quirky, but I do like
Just
it.
wait till the end. You're gonna be like, yeah.
See,
you
I
are
actually
my-
started watching that as well. What episode are you on?
I just finished episode 9 before I
2.
came here.
Oh, you gotta.
I have not watched.
I'm trying to get used to the style of
Yeah,
it.
because it's
Joel,
CG.
you
You're
were-
gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's imperfect cell shading too, which is like off-putting, but it's like
It
I
gets
like
to
I like the story though.
Let me know if you think if the animation gets better by the end of it. Because
Okay.
we thought that by the end of the show. We were
Like
"Feels
maybe
it
just
got
the
better."
pilot episode and
It's
the
either-
first one
well,
they're getting the
maybe
kinks out.
It's either that or we just liked it more.
Got
by the
used
end
to
of
it.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Joel, you are my Sherpa for all things like
Obscure.
kawaii anime.
Oh God.
Kawaii.
Yeah.
Except Doki Doki Literature Club, I'm pretty sure that was
That was
Jelani's high.
Yeah, that's
high.
as
so
kawaii as you
kawaii.
can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so kawaii.
So kawaii.
Exactly.
If you love kawaii, play Doki Doki Literature.
But God, like watching that show is just bringing me back.
I
to
love
all the
the
classic
references,
game
yeah.
references.
And
They're
they got.
so
I love
good.
watching the ending because you see how many things they had to get rights to.
Yeah,
It's
they've
amazing.
got like the credits are just a listing of so
Capcom,
many
you know,
amazing.
Konami, any-
Oh,
Video
Capcom's
game
notorious
companies.
for their.
Yeah. But it's in there. It's all in there. It's cool.
And then I finally finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It ended very well.
Okay.
And that's the ending of that iteration. Yeah, it was a trilogy, so that's the finish of that. If you haven't played them, go check them out. They're very good. And I had to start playing something, so I started playing what's it called?
Gris?
Edith Finch.
Oh, What Remains of Edith Finch.
What Remains of Edith Finch. Thank you. And that's like supposed to be like a 4-hour game, so I'm almost done with that.
Nice.
Again, very quirky, not like super actiony, but that is so far a very unique game that I'm super glad is part of my collection.
Nice. Very cool.
So I will get back to you with how I feel about that, but very nice so far.
Nice.
Dominic?
Yes, yeah. Oh, okay. So I started watching the same series. I'm not too far into it though, so I can't really give too much additional input on it though. But I'll get back to you guys next week.
When we're both finished with it.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
only one season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're only making OVAs after this, which is sad. You'll like it by the end of it, I promise.
Okay. All right. I'll hold you to that.
Guarantee.
But speaking of seasons, we have season 2 of Mob Psycho 100, which I highly recommend. It's from the same creator, as in like the original creator that did One Punch Man, except with a flawed middle school kid who has phenomenal psychic power. And 2 episodes have now been released, and I can honestly say that I am so glad it's the same team that's working on it as before, because it just picks up right where it's left off. And I always get really concerned when a new season comes out, because you never know if they're going to take like a different tour, or like if they should, or whether they do a continuation from where they left off. The characterizations in it are just it's just so much fun to watch characters that are all imperfect, as opposed to having your Gary Stews or Mary Stews or whatever with like a shonen or something. It's a nice change of pace. So I still highly recommend it. I know I started it with Jelani. I don't know how far he's gotten with it, but highly recommend it if you're a big fan of action meets characters. And then their fight scenes are just... There's just so much fun. I love watching a good fight scene, a nice, good choreography. So if you're a fan of fight scenes, if you're a fan of character, if you're a fan of very smart writing, you'll like Mob. It just has everything I want. I like it more than One Punch Man, which is so weird to say. So that's my plug. So if anyone else has something that they're starting, then
You want to go over to
I don't think I've watched anything. No. I mean, besides
He's working too hard on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Toiling in obscurity.
I'm trying to think if there was anything I watched, and I don't think there's anything new I watched. I just watched a bunch of old shit, which is a bad habit.
Well, new for you.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just I go back and rewatch
old
shit.
What were you rewatching?
Just Law and Order and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Dick Wolf
shit.
in the credits. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like it's something that
You're a
like
Dick Wolf
I
in
will
the
like just
credits.
throw
That's
something on
every
and
time I
not
see it, I think
like
that.
not pay attention to it
I
really.
used to do that a lot.
So like
Or struggle
like,
to find something to watch.
you know, like I'll just do that a lot. I'll just throw something on and not pay attention to it like while I'm doing something. So like it hasn't been like a thing of like me playing or doing anything new, I don't think, unless like it'll dawn on me. I was like, oh wait, I did play something or watch something.
Okay.
Joel, what did you
We
got?
gotta get you to watch High Score Girl.
Yeah, I know. I've been really bad about like stuff I need to watch.
So, TV shows. We started watching Tatami Galaxy, which is by my now realized after looking at this Madhouse. I don't know if you guys know
Yes.
the animation group.
Yeah.
But go back and look at everything. They made One Punch Man. They made
I think they're a subsidiary of Gainax, who did Neon Genesis.
yeah, they are.
Evangelion.
They've if you look at their catalog, it's like holy crap. We've all seen many things by them. It's phenomenal. But Tatami Galaxy is the forerunner to The Night is Short. So that's what got me interested in it. So it's like you actually follow the same characters doing their different life stuff, and it's
crazy.
It's really it came out years ago too. It came out I think in 2013 or something like that. But
So it's like a Lupin the Third type scenario
kind
where
of.
they have their movies, but the movies come out after the series.
yeah, and then it's like they take a specific character from there and follow one person in the movie that is Night is Short.
Okay.
So, but it's directed by the same guy too. So you get the same styling, which is really cool. Same as Devilman
Crybaby.
Yeah, so you get that same styling, which is really cool. And then
Same art style.
Oh yeah. It's
Okay.
wild, and it's so fast paced to do it's all only subtitled. So good luck reading it really fast. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I feel like I've gotten used to it.
Yeah, you give it a try. That's a great show. I'll say that. It's very, very cool. Like it's such
What's the name of it again?
Tatami Galaxy.
Tatami Galaxy.
Yeah. It's actually a very famous one. It was a manga even before that. So, but then also I'm on hour 58, I think, of Dragon Quest 11. So things are getting heated. I think it's at least an 80-hour game. And that's I have to commend that game. At first we were like, it's kind of so-so, but the more we play it, the more we're falling in love with it. And that person I'm talking about is my girlfriend Amy, a friend of the show. So Amy Lancaster. But yeah, we put in a lot of hours and we switch off on this one, and it's a lot.
Why don't just drop them names? Huh?
Well, you always say
Sorry,
clarify.
you dropped something there.
Does she live in Canada?
Yes, she does. With the red green show over here. I know. You're the only one wearing plaid today, right? But
Just because he's wearing plaid with a beard. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna duct tape you two together
Yeah,
and
exactly.
leave you behind.
Shut up, Al Borland.
And then aside from that, I did rewatch Ninja Scroll, and that's why
Shut
I
up,
mentioned
Todd.
the throwing of the. I won't talk about this, but it was a runner-up on my list from the show earlier. Have to say, which is, by the way, Ninja Scroll is a madhouse as well. So go back.
You must have recently watched Ninja Scroll.
I did. That's why
Yes.
I just was saying that. I said I rewatched that, and I was like thoroughly impressed because that movie is still phenomenal to this day.
Well, that one's the more true to folklore too.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, it's vicious though for an older anime. It's pretty wild. But
I still like
Fist.
Fists of the North Star though.
Yeah. I don't know. This one is a more modern take than Fist. The Fist is a little more basic, I would say, than this. But regardless, I don't know if you guys haven't seen Ninja Scroll. By God, watch it.
I have watched it.
It's one of my favorite animes. I actually do remember something I watched recently.
Oh, what'd you watch?
Oh, there it is.
I watched the Netflix Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Any good?
So I will say this, right?
Which Sabrina did it take after?
Okay. So I've never read the comic or whatever the old school stuff is, and I have seen. I'm not like a huge fan of like the show with Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, that was the Disney ABC
the ABC
show.
Family like TGIF.
I think it aired on there, but it was like whatever.
Yeah, so whatever. Like so it's a very dark show. It is very dark. It is. Yeah,
so it's like the movie that first came out,
okay.
right?
I don't remember that movie. I don't remember that movie.
Well, that was when they had it wasn't Melissa Joan Hart. It came out beforehand, and that one was like it predated Joss Whedon's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
But pretty much Buffy was like modeled after Sabrina.
And so it's okay. One, it's very, very dark. It's very there's a lot of there's gore. It's very satanic. And I could tell it's probably not gonna be for everybody, but I enjoyed it actually. I thought it was a decent watch through. They go into a lot more about like witchcraft and what that actually means with like, binding yourself to Satan and things like that. And it's a very interesting version of it, like especially like if your only exposure to Sabrina the Teenage Witch was like that, that goofy like TGIF like show. So I watched all the way through. I haven't watched like the special holiday episode that came out, but I watched the first season.
And
I can see why it was controversial. I can see why there was a lot of things. I enjoyed it, and I would probably recommend it for like people who aren't going to be too squeamish and weirded out about like. Have you guys ever seen that movie, the Witch, the Witch?
The goat?
Yeah, with the goat and stuff like that.
that one is horrifying.
It plays a lot heavily to like what that means. Like there's a lot of like crazy satanic like dark undertones. And
funnily enough, though, Sabrina is a character that was based in Archie comics.
Yeah, and so they mentioned
just gonna put that out there.
They mentioned, I forget what the hell is it called. What's the name of the Archie? What's the name of the Archie?
Riverdale.
Riverdale. So they do mention that a lot. Like they do make references to that universe.
Okay.
So like, and I've heard that Riverdale like
it's got its own series
I also
too.
that Riverdale was like kind of a darker like Archie show as well.
They went zombie. in the actual comics now. They did
Yeah, I heard
a version where Jughead tries to res his dog using Sabrina's dark magic and creates a zombie that bites people and causes an outbreak.
Yeah, so it's a dark show, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something kind of darkish and very interesting. It's an interesting series. Like I don't think it's for everybody, but I think it's an interesting watch through. So that's all I can say about it. But besides that, that's all I got. I think
one more quick trailer announcement was John Wick 3. I don't know if you guys saw the other
I
ones,
just
but
saw that today.
Oh yeah,
Not the trailer, but like the fact
looks
that
like it's getting out of control.
So
well, what is it called? It's John Wick 3
Parabellum.
Parabellum.
Yeah.
Like I like the John Wick series, but I've only ever watched the first one, so I saw the trailer for the second one, and I was like,
Second one's fun,
It
but
is
that
fun,
first one just
first one was like
clicked.
was the one, right?
they had the Continental or whatever
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
that's what this whole thing is about. The third one.
The
It's
third
like-
one's
About the
about
Continental
It's
again?
about not the Continental, but the group that is like overarching that is kind of protecting that.
The
and, like-
Assassin Guild thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about
Because they're
like
all
that.
after him. They put a bounty on his head and he's running.
Well, that was
So-
the end of 2.
I know,
though.
so that's what 3 is about. Is he's running and then it's like the
Yeah,
bounty
fucking
gets.
assassins everywhere.
Yeah, did you see
I mean,
the
that
trailer?
sounds
Yeah, I saw
fun
it.
though.
Yeah, it's
and
like
I've
the-
never seen the second one, so I don't know like how this relates. But it looked like another fun grab a big tub of popcorn and watch this film.
Yeah,
like,
that's
That
pretty much
is
it.
what John
That's
Wick
pretty
is.
much
It
Yeah,
really
that-
is.
Like
It's
if you're
self-aware.
expecting Oscar-worthy filming here, like come on. But if you're expecting headshots, let's do it.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what it is.
Oscar-worthy choreography,
That's true.
Yeah, fight choreography.
because
Well, doesn't
that
John
fight
Woo-
choreography is so good.
Yeah, the gun food.
Gun kata,
Gun
yeah.
kata, or whatever it's called.
Well, but isn't
Yeah.
John Woo? I don't know if he's attached to this NL.
I don't
think-
remember
I don't
John
know if
Woo
he- I don't
being
know
a
if he.
name.
I don't think he ever was, but
I thought he was to this one.
no.
but maybe I'm
Well,
wrong.
I don't know. We'll see.
Crouching
Well-
Tiger, Hidden Dragon, John Woo?
Mhm.
No, well, no, that's.
Did I get that
no,
wrong?
No,
No,
you
yeah,
got that
yeah.
wrong. That's dude who did Brokeback Mountain.
What? Really? That's the same guy?
Ang Lee.
Ang Lee.
Ang
Ang Lee
yeah.
is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Ang Lee, is that the Hulk Ang Lee?
Yes.
Okay.
He did Hulk. He did Brokeback Mountain. He did Life of Pi.
What kind of fight choreography do we see in Brokeback Mountain?
Stop
it's-
it. Stop it. End this show already. I do not want to hear about this. It is
don't-
beyond my bedtime.
It's Dancing Cowboys. I don't know. So yeah, folks, thank you so much for joining us here on the.
God damn it.
Thank you so much for
Go
joining
to
us
hell.
here for another
We're all
great,
Go to bed.
Pop
We're all going to hell.
Aficionados. If you guys like everything we're doing, please check out popsamurainetwork.com. You can find our Facebook, Pop Samurai Network. Just search Pop Samurai, and you'll find our page. And I will try to set up a poll there, but we'll see what happens. And hopefully I can get it up sooner than later. And you guys can vote for our number 5 spot. Hopefully we'll announce it by next week. And we'll see what happens in the following weeks. This has been your host, Jelani Hoon, along with host.
Joel Peprocki.
Will Washkun.
And Dominic Serena.
This has been Pop Contention / Pop Aficionados podcast block, brought to you by twitch.tv/Pop Samurai Network. And catch you guys next week.
Do 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 do.